JewelleryMaker have an extensive range of DVDs for all abilities. Each of our mediums has an introductory DVD to help you get started. If you're already an experienced jewellery maker, we have a collection of projects and more advanced DVDs to take your designs to the next level. We are always filming new DVDs with our specialist guest designers, so visit our website for more information. Tune in to JewelleryMaker from Friday the 7th of March for the return of The Late Show. Watch 4 hours of jam-packed fun and great offers with your presenters Ed and Ali. Make sure you take advantage of the last Miss It Miss Out shows this week and grab yourself all the last in stock items, because if you've missed them, then you will have missed out. The Late Show, only on JewelleryMaker.
Get involved with JewelleryMaker by sending the studio a message during our live hours. You can send a text to 60777 and start your message with JM Studio, or alternatively, go to our website and click on Watch the Live Show, simply type your message into the box and press send. Make sure you stay tuned in case your message is read out. Get interactive with JewelleryMaker.
Hello, welcome. My name is Becky, similar to Vicky, but slightly different. Thank you very much for joining me on Designer Inspirations today. I have seriously got some truly stunning treats for you. Anyone interested in a girl's best friend? That's going to be coming up for us, as well as many, many others. And we have, of course, a designer with plenty of inspiration. She has got some really standout, I go as far as to say almost a little bit Tiffany feeling pieces coming to us today. It is the wonderful Teresa. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Very good, thank you. And we're going to be heading over to you in about half an hour. Give us a little bit of a summary of your first piece you'll be showing us.
It's blue.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, it's nice.
It is.
It's got wirework in it.
Blue, nice, wiry. That would be the sum up for it. They are really some truly stunning pieces. A very high end, very boutique. You can have a little look at how to create those shortly. I have got in my first half an hour some true bargains for you. I'm then going to be heading over to Teresa to have a little look at her design. After that, we are going to have a section called the Spring Equinox. It's coming up very, very soon. It's coming up, I think it's is it the 20th? I've written it down, 20th of March, that's coming up. So loads of springtime colours coming up in that half hour. We'll be heading back over to Teresa after that. Teresa, how would you describe your second section to us?
Pink and brown with wire in it.
Pink, brown and wiry. Good.
You're spotting a theme here with the descriptions.
And then finally, in my last hour, I've got my favourite price avalanche for you. That means we're going to be starting off with your high-end, your boutique, your beautiful pieces, and going right down low prices. I'm talking under £3. So I've got plenty coming up for you. But before all of that, let's start off with Becky's Bonkers Bargains. I've got some true treats in this for you. They're bonkers, they're bargains, and they're beautiful as well. Whoa, that is some alliteration for you, isn't it? I've got a strand for you here that I have not seen before, and I am so excited to bring this to you. Now, it's Labradorite, which I know is one of your favourites, voted your favourite 2 years on the run, but this looks like nothing I've ever seen before. Take a look at this for me. Wow, this is seductive sparkle to the extreme. 140 carats worth of your mystic colour coated white Labradorite in here, in these beautiful rondelles. Now, this is an exquisite strand. The coating that you can see just cascading across, it's Aurora Borealis in depth of colour, is so spectacular. But also you're very lucky in the sense that you've also got the Labrador essence shining through each of these. So although I've got the seductive sparkle of the coating itself, you've also got these gleams, this shimmer running through each individual gemstone as well. First time we've had it on the mid show, so I'm very excited to bring this to you. I think this is going to work beautifully. If you've perhaps been a little bit worried about working with coated gemstones before, but you still want just that hint, a pop of colour, then this could definitely be the one for you to get your hands on. You've got the beautiful pale labradorite running underneath this coating, but as we always say, the coating itself is not a paint, and you can see that completely in this strand. We're not covering anything up, we're not hiding anything, and that is completely defined by the fact you still have the Labrador essence running through there. I've got my lucky number 27 left. Let's give you a lucky price on this. £17.95, but the 27 I've got here, that's all we've got. 26 now, £17.95. If you, like me, have never worked with Labradorite in this form before, definitely give it a go for way less than £20 today. It's a beautiful strand, and because of the rainbow of colours you're getting in this, it really will go with absolutely anything. I've got some peridot that will pop with this. I've got some ametrine that's coming up for you later that will just warm this beauty up so perfectly. 24 of these I have left. Once they're gone, they are completely gone. The faceting is exceptional on these, and I think that's just what's drawing your eye into this gemstone initially. You know what the coating on it reminds me of, actually? Fish scales. You know that kind of rainbow fish scale effect you get? I used to have a pet trout called Harry, and he looks just like this. I had a pet trout. He wasn't like in a bowl. He was in a pond, and honestly, you used to be able to shake the trough, and he would come up to the surface. Kid you not, trained trout Harry. Oh, bless him. 17 of these I've got left. This is £17.95. Give yourself this wonderful gleam coating. I'm going to have to move on because we are getting low in stock on these. This is, of course, Becky's Bonkers Bargains. You're getting a great price on this, and I've got some stunning bundles coming up for you in a little bit as well. I've got for you now some earring findings. Now these are actually very, very special. You know how much I adore earring findings because I've got to admit I'm into the chunky earrings, but also another reason that I adore these fancy ones so much is because you can create some stunning bib effects. Now what I've thought in the past about these is it's lovely to get a pair, but I wanted to put together a selection of them for you so that you can have the capabilities to not only create a pair of earrings but also the bib necklace effect, maybe strings and strings of pearls, really giving you that sort of Coco Chanel feel. So I thought I'd get them together in a bundle for you, and this is exactly what you've got here. You've got 6 pairs, no you haven't, you've got 5 pairs in total, and you've got all the different fancy findings effects. So you've got here, these are all 925, by the way, this is serious quality. You've got here the 4 drops, 4 loops. It's a teardrop effect on here, and these are in a beautiful antiques bronze colour. 2 pairs of these in total. You've got 2 pairs in the 925 silver as well, and these ones, I think I'm right in saying they're the 9 loops, yes that's right. So they have the 9 loops at the bottom, the 1 in the centre, just giving you the opportunity to spend gemstones if you so wish. 2 pairs of those, and then you have these beautiful huge earring findings as well. These ones are perfect if you do want to have really statement earpieces, but also if you want to do a bib necklace with these, wow, you have the capabilities of stranding counting, 11, 12 different strands from this. And in fact, we used these yesterday on Designer Inspiration. So if you do want to have a little look back on our YouTube, then you may well be able to get some inspiration from that as well. So 5 pairs of these in total. I wanted to get these in for you, but I wanted to do you a great price. This is the price they should be. £25.85, which realistically is a great price because you've got 925 in here, and on top of that you've got other coatings as well, like 7 karat gold, for example. So you've got plenty to play with here. But I wanted to give you a lower price so that you have the chance at home to own this and have a little play, as opposed to buying them all separately. The price did roll down, but the gremlins are in. It went down. It's not £25.85 today. That's how much it should be if you were to buy all these individually. But I've given you a deal on this today. You've got £16.95. It's genuinely the highest grade we can possibly bring to you, but I've only got 24 left at this moment in time. They are so beautiful. Size-wise, you're looking at, on the 9 loop, these are 18mm approximately. On the largest ones at the bottom, you're looking at 34mm on these ones, in with really serious statement pieces. Imagine with the top loop of these going through there, maybe with a piece of wire or your beading thread, and then just having from each different layer effects on your neckline will be so beautiful. I have 21 of these. It's a serious saving you're making on this today. QGC69 is your code. I want to give you the opportunity to have a play with these, have a go with them. They're seriously high fashion right now. Were you keeping your eyes on the Paris Fashion Week? Did you see all the statement jewellery? Oh my goodness, pretty much every single show that went down those catwalks had serious, big, bulky statement pieces, earrings included. This is high fashion right now, and because that has been out for autumn, winter, get these in your collection now. Have a play with them whilst you can, so that you've got them on your stall for when everyone's looking for them in the highest possible quality you can bring them, 925 sterling silver. I've only got 13 of these left, and lucky for some, get yourself on the phone lines for these as soon as you can, please, because it's a serious discount. £16.95 as opposed to the 25 you should have been playing. Really high-end gemstones I've got for you today. I've got a bit of emerald, got a bit of a girl's best friend, I've got some pink spinel, and I've got this beautiful ruby. Did you see Ruby before? Kirsty's Ruby. Oh my goodness. Isn't she the cutest thing ever? She's so beautiful. Now, the thing I adore about Ruby is the fact that on certain ones, including this strand, if you're very lucky, you can get this internal gloss, the sheen that comes across, and you've got it in plentiful amounts on this strand. 155 carats you've got in total, and they are graduated from 9x7 all the way to 17x13, and these are your medium nuggets. Now, Ruby, of course, is one of the most sought after gemstones in the world, and it's nice that you've got this unusual shaping on here. Now, Teresa, what would you do with these shaped gemstones?
I think, yeah, I mean, you have to kind of look at them and see what shapes you've got, I suppose, to start with. I really like putting irregular shapes with a regular shape. So having it kind of in a circle or something, or a square, just to kind of bring out that irregularity. Some of them are definitely big enough to have some wire wrapping on them as
definitely.
well.
Huge
so,
one.
Yeah.
Wire wrap ring.
Yeah.
What metal would you, what colour tone would you wrap these with?
You can actually put them with a lot of different colour tones, so it sort of depends what your mood is. I do tend to use a lot of silver, so I like putting just about everything with silver, really.
Yeah.
They'd work really nicely with gold as well.
Definitely agree with that. Now, it is genuine ruby. It is all from Mother Nature herself, and we know ruby is one of our high-end gemstones. However, your price is seriously not high end. It's just £14.95. I told you, Becky's Bonkers Bargains all day long. Try saying that after a rosé. £14.95 is your price on genuine ruby today. And if we have a look at how many you've got in here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 I've got on my strand. That's a whopping amount, isn't it? 155 carats worth of one of the most sought after gemstones. And you know what? Have a little look on our website. See how much ruby we've got on the website right now. I can tell you this for something. It's not a lot. We can't get our hands on ruby easily at the moment. There's only 2 strands on the website at the moment, and this is one. £14.95 is your price on it today. It's a 24 centimetre strand of one of the most sought after gemstones in the world, and it's yours today for less than £15. I mentioned this one a moment ago, so it'd be rude not to bring it to you. Now, it's Cleopatra's favourite, you already know what it is. But this is really unusual because I don't think I've seen emerald in this shape before. They're top drilled drops. How wonderful is that? 90 carats worth in total. Isn't it exceptional? Now, when I saw these ones, I thought purely, well, I love emerald anyway, but I thought because they are top drilled, it's something so unusual. I really wanted to bring these to you. I think we have a lot of top drilled gemstones, but you see sometimes there's a lot of certain types. I could completely imagine this mixed with tanzanite. If you were to mix this with tanzanite, that could definitely be one of the show-stopping pieces, couldn't it? And in fact, if you are looking for tanzanite, I've got some of that coming up for you later on as well. 90 carats worth of your 18 centimetre strand. And how do you fancy a price match to the emerald ruby? £14.95 for you on these little beauties today, and some of them are pretty sizable as well. 10 by 7 mil, some of these ones. It's unusual to see a top drop, and beautiful. Imagine these. You've got the silver spaces in between here as well. Do not throw those away. They just make your gemstones go so much further, and you're getting plenty on here for free of charge. £14.95. If you haven't opened your basket yet, trust me, you are going to want to at some point this afternoon. So it's better to open it up now, isn't it? £2.95 is all you're paying, postage and packaging until midnight tonight. 0800 644 655. If you haven't joined us yet, join us today. It's going to be a cracking day to do so. £14.95 for totally genuine emerald today. Now, you know I'm a bit of a magpie, aren't I? So I love a bit of sparkle, and I've got some serious sparkle here for you today. Imagine glittering sand, the gold, and then the beautiful sea waves crashing against. That's what you've got in these two, isn't it? These are serious sparkle. These are really high shine bright, but they're beautiful small size, aren't they? They are wonderful size. You've got on here, they're both strands are 3 by 2 mil, but they are actually graduated from 2 by 1 mil. 35 carats you have on both of these. You've got the antiques bronze coated pyrite, and you also have this beautiful sky blue colour coated pyrite, both in the rondelles. They are identical strands in the sense of their graduation, their size, but of course the colour is dramatically different. If you haven't yet booked your holiday, why not order these? Maybe get yourself in the mindset. Becky's Bonkers Bargains. It's going to be a bonkers bargain. Let's bring your price in. £9.95 is the reduced price that we discussed upstairs earlier. Reduced price, that is. That's not even the price it should be. That's way lower than it should be. We discussed it upstairs. I decided I don't actually like the number 9 anymore, so I picked another favourite number, which is 7, and put it at £7.95. I know the way my mind works is quite unusual, but it's fine. £7.95. It's Becky's bonkers bargains. Why not? 2 genuine gemstone strands of this beautiful pyrite. I've got lots of people with it in their baskets. You want to be checking these out, ladies and gentlemen, just to make sure they are yours for sure. There's quite a few new people actually buying these. Don't worry if you are new, just because you can check out as many times as you want. We're not going to charge you extra postage and packaging for these at all. Pyrite's a really interesting gemstone as well because it's so high sparkling, it's so metallic, of course, known as fool's gold in the trade. And haven't you got that fool's gold colour running through these? But also it's really interesting too, I think, because it's used in weaponry quite a lot because when it's struck against another metal, it can cause a spark, which is why it's used a lot actually in weaponry throughout the ages, including nowadays. £7.95 for these 2 strands. Teresa, you like quite small gemstones, don't you? What would you do with these ones?
Well, I'm trying to. I don't want to give too much away because I think I've got some small ones coming up. Not just this show, but next show as well. Yeah, I mean, you can do what you like with them. You can do pretty much anything with them. I do tend to kind of use frames quite a lot and wrap onto frames with them, which is one of the things that's coming up later on. I am toying with the idea of just kind of going completely mad with a project and loading quite a lot of them into one piece. Yeah. So they're all kind of small gemstones, but you've got quite a big impact because there's a lot of them.
Oh, I think that's a good, and at this price as well, £7.95. And the reason I particularly love small gemstones is because if you're like me and a bit of a messy wire worker, they cover up a multitude of sins, don't they? You can just strand these on and they cover up that bit where the wire kinks beautifully, but still look gorgeous. £7.95. I've got lots of you with it in your baskets. I've got Patricia, Pauline's joined us today. Hello, Pamela as well. Paula, you've got yourself a couple of these. Kim as well. Janet too's got some. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Oh, Glamorgan. Beautiful Glamorgan. £7.95. ROGC. 68 is your code on that today. Now, I brought this to you not so long ago for the first time and it was so popular, they absolutely flew out. I am in limited stock on this. It's a beautiful teal coated hematite. Take a look at this tone on here. It's almost your springtime tones, isn't it? Have you got the sun where you are today? If you have, wouldn't these be gorgeous? Just to match this beautiful weather we've got today. Golden bursts from the sun and beautiful blue hues from the sky. These are 7mm and you've got a whopping 450 carats worth of this teal colour coated hematite. In fact, I can't think of any other gemstone that we've actually coated in this teal before. So this could be something new for you to have a go. If you didn't manage to get your hands on it last time, could be your last chance to purchase today. Let's bring your price in so you have the chance to own this little beauty. Can you believe it? £5.95. This is a serious, hefty strand. It's lengthy, but it's because it's hematite. You've really got that that heavy drop feel into it. Well, you've got 450 carats worth in total, haven't you? Can you imagine this alongside something like your citrines? Can you imagine? I've got some peridot coming up for you later on. This with the peridot would be stunning. And in fact, actually, how about this with that labradorite? You see how it's just, this is the white labradorite I bought you a moment ago. Can you just see how those colours just cascading from one to another? And actually pretty close in size, aren't they? In a sense. £5.95 is your price on this stunning hematite today. It could be your last chance to purchase and it's a cracking price for a genuine gemstone, isn't it? Bottom of your screen is that beautiful labradorite. We've still got a handful left, but be the last to own it today. £5.95 is your price on this teal colour coated hematite. Say that to me again, my love. Oh. The price on this is so exceptional. Now, I'm really limited in stock on this 18. Honestly, trust me on this. It's a hefty strand. It's a stunning strand. It is currently one of the rarest gemstones in the world. Much more so than first presumed. I'll tell you a little bit more about it later on, but there is seriously low stock shortage on this. We've estimated that this is around 100 times rarer than it was just a few years ago. It's beautiful blue sapphire. And look at the length of this strand, 32 centimeters on this. Now, it is synonymous with royalty and has been, well, throughout the ages really. In more recent times, of course, Prince Charles gave Diana a beautiful blue sapphire ring, and currently that is being worn as the engagement ring by the lovely Kate Middleton. Well, not Middleton anymore, is it? Windsor. And because of that, because of, you know, her being such a high fashion icon, the blue sapphire really has gone up in popularity, but sadly, gone down in its availability naturally throughout the world. It is one of the gemstones that Steve went to find out about the situation with it a couple of weeks ago. He is back now in the building. I'll be able to tell you all about the tanzanite situation in a moment, and it is sadly as presumed, and same for this sapphire. Only 12 of these left. Let's bring you stunning price in. Can you believe that? £17.95 for this 32 centimetre strand of genuine blue sapphire. And the lovely thing with these is you've got some that are around 5 by 2 mil. All you need to do is drop 2 of those onto a shepherd hook and you've got a pair of sapphire earrings. Now genuinely, how much would you look at selling that for? Even just for 2. You're hitting up around the £15 mark. Of course, you're going to put them with 925. Oh my days! If you got your hands on my bundle of those beautiful earrings findings, pairing these with those 925s, you could easily, especially if you did it with the 9 droppers, easily £25. £17.95, but I've only got 4 of these left. Once this is gone, it is completely gone. 4 left, that's all I've got, and I've got people with it in their baskets. You need to check out right now. I've got 3 of these in total at £17.95 for you today. Stunning. Now, we are setting Teresa a challenge, so stay where you are on the phone. I've still got 1 or 2 of those sapphires left, but I'm going to give Teresa one of my bonkers bargain bundles. It is these beautiful gemstone strands. Now, you've got really bright tones in here. We've given you a few small ones, Teresa, because we know you quite like the small gemstones. So we've given you a couple of strands in here that are really beautiful and small. And I've got to admit, one of these strands, this smoky quartz, is something I personally have never seen before. Take a look at these 3 strands for me. These are going to be Teresa's challenge, which means that around 22, quarter to 5, we'll be bringing these to you. We will be bringing these to you shortly. You've got your beautiful strands in here, your smoky quartz, as well as a beautiful peridot, beautiful pops of the quartz in there as well. This will be coming up for you later on. You just have a little nosy at it now. I want to squeeze this one in for you because I fell in love with this. It's the most beautiful gemstone, one of the most popular, and take a look at the drill on this. Isn't that really unusual? They are your drop shaped, but whereas you'd normally have them drilled at the top, these morganite are actually drilled through the bottom at the thickest point. And don't you think it gives them a beautiful heart appearance actually? These are from 8 to 10 mil, it's 22 centimetre strand. It is by far one of the most popular gemstones in the world at the moment, because as we all know, coloured gemstones are so in at the moment, actually taking precedence over some of the clear gemstones that we have, things such as your diamonds. Although I have got diamonds for you later, they are coloured. They are coloured. So for coloured gemstones, morganite, the popularity is just shooting up. If you got your hands on those sapphires, please get your hands on these as well, because those paired together. Imagine, oh my goodness, imagine morganite necklace, this morganite necklace, spaces of sapphire, genuinely. You could be selling that for, well, I wouldn't even like to guess, 40, 50 pounds. I've got 2 handfuls of this left in stock. Let's bring your price in. £29.95. This is a popular gemstone that I'm sure you know people come back for time and time again. So the fact that you're able to offer them this in a completely different form is beautiful. Have you done a commission for someone, or have you got someone who absolutely adores morganite? This could be the one that you need to give them a little phone call about. I've got your favourite, and I've got morganite back in, but it looks totally different. The cut on this, the way it's been jewelled is totally different. I can offer you something really special on this. Get back in touch with those commission people that you've maybe created beautiful bridal pieces for, or just standout pieces for in the past that have involved morganite, and let them know that you're going to offer it to them in a completely different form, really just to give them a completely different feel to their pieces. £29.95 for a really unique gemstone in a totally unusual and bewitching cut. It could be your last chance to purchase this today though. It's only 17 I have left of these, and it's less than £30 for you today for 60 carats of your bottom drilled morganite. Fall in love. But only 17 left. Now I am going to the break. It's important you stay on the phone for this. ONRU25. After this break, we're going to be heading over to the wonderful Teresa to have a look at her wonderful pieces in designer inspiration, and there's going to be some cracking prices on that as well for you. I'll see you after this short break.
Tune in to JewelleryMaker from Friday the 7th of March for the return of The Late Show. Watch 4 hours of jam-packed fun and great offers with your presenters Ed and Ali. Make sure you take advantage of the last Miss It Miss Out shows this week and grab yourself all the last in stock items, because if you've missed them, then you will have missed out. The Late Show, only on JewelleryMaker.
Get involved with JewelleryMaker by sending the studio a message during our live hours. You can send a text to 60777 and start your message with JM Studio, or alternatively, go to our website and click on Watch the Live Show, simply type your message into the box and press send. Make sure you stay tuned in case your message is read out. Get interactive with JewelleryMaker.
When you place your first order with us, you will receive a free booklet and DVD full of handy hints, tips and tutorials to help you get started with your new JewelleryMaker hobby.
If you miss a JewelleryMaker show, then simply go to our YouTube page, where you'll be able to find hours of JewelleryMaker footage. Search by show, date or type. Alternatively, search by guest designer by using our playlist page. You can also find hours of tutorials with handy hints and tips to give you inspiration. Our YouTube page is updated on a daily basis, so you can access any show at any time. Stay in touch with JewelleryMaker.
Hello, welcome back to Designer Inspiration. Thanks for joining me this afternoon. My name is Becky, and in mere moments we're going to be heading over to the wonderful Teresa to have a little look at her selection of pieces. We've given her some beautiful gemstones and they're coming up for you right now. Now, the gemstones in this, I said to you about this design earlier, it's got a really Tiffany feel to me about it. We're working with beautiful blues, high-end gemstones, and also mixing it with silver as well. Now, what we're doing in this section for you is, sometimes we'll bring you a bundle all together. We've split it in two this time. That means that you've got the ability to purchase the gemstones and the wire separately. So if you have all the wire and things that you need at home, you don't have to purchase that side of the bundle. Just treat yourself to these seriously high-end gemstones. I have got possibly one of the most luxurious sets of strands I've ever given you to a designer inspiration. And if you're planning on getting your hands on those beautiful diamonds later, then these will work perfectly with that pairing. I have got for you this stunning designer inspiration with one of the most luxurious gemstones in the world. Of course, it's kyanite. Now, in here you have got 40 carats worth of this stunning rainbow moonstone. Now, this is a 30cm strand, and these are 3 mil all over. They've got a real lovely little burst of tone running through them. I wonder if you can capture any of this real nice lunar-like effect that you've got within the surface. Now, it's one of those strands that the lights in here possibly not doing it justice, but when you get this home you'll be able to see that beautiful lunar-like shimmer across. You've also got 2 strands of kyanite in here. Now, in this one you've got 60 carats of the marquise shapes. These are graduated from 9x5 all the way to 15x7. It's an 18cm strand on that for you. And you've got 60 carats of the ovals, and those are graduated again from 7x5 all the way to 12x8 mil, and that one is a 20cm strand, so a really lengthy strand on that kyanite for you today. Now, kyanite is so beautiful. I'm wondering if you can see, especially in these marquise shapes, if I show you these now, as it's catching the light, the pleochrysm in this strand is exceptional. Now, this strand itself, of course, it's kyanite. It's one of the most popular pleochrysmic gemstones. When I say pleochrysmic, if you're not sure, it means that basically it has different colour change probabilities to it within different lighting sources. So it will have a colour change reaction for you. It's so beautiful. You can see little dots, eye can to my eye, yellows running through there, beautiful blues of different tones, and even purples running through this kyanite. Now, the marquise strand that I have here by itself is £24.95. So perhaps if you've not got your hands on kyanite before, that's just to give you an idea of the price point we're working with now. We're working with serious luxury. This is boutique. This is high end. We don't bring kyanite to you that often, and we definitely do not bring you 2 strands in a designer inspiration kit, but we are today. We're giving you the chance to get ready for wedding season, get ready for all of those springtime, summertime balls that everyone will be attending, and getting ready for that time of year where really you're treating yourself to extra things, and people are looking at getting that high end boutique standing for you. So remember for me, the marquee shapes, £24.95 is your price. £52.85 if you were to purchase them all online now, separately. But if you've just bought these, I know you have just bought these. There's about 5 people who have just purchased this at £52.85. Do not worry, you're not actually going to be paying that price. It's £39.95 for you today. If you've just paid the 52, do not worry, that money will be credited back onto your account. £39.95 is all everyone will be paying for this today. Truly exceptional high-end gemstones we're working with here. This is one of the most boutique lines I have ever brought to you. Have you got yourself a bridal shop? Are you looking at branching into bridal jewellery? Are you looking at branching into that, let's face it, high-end boutique, almost gallery, art gallery selling? I know a lot of people do that at the moment. These are the types of gemstones you'll want to be working with there, aren't they? These really high-end beauties. And the marquise shapes coming up around £25. So essentially, for just a few more, you're getting not only another strand of kyanite, which is actually longer than that one, but you've also got a really stunning example of your beautiful rainbow moonstone in here as well. Trust me, I've got a few people on the phone for this. Couple with it in your baskets. What I will say is, let's go and have a little look at this beautiful selection of pieces she's created. Now, I will be bringing to you the wire in a moment, but also I am going to give you an alternate colourway in a moment for you. Now, Teresa, you put this together yourself. What gave you the inspiration for this?
Well, actually, the conversation started off, we were talking about doing wirework with gems of distinction. And obviously, with the gems of distinction, I was kind of like, okay, so what have we got? Let's see what we've actually got. And then I kind of put the wire to it.
Yeah.
But I think the pieces that I've made, it's actually started off with the marquee shapes.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is as well with, particularly with the gems of distinction, you tend to do less rather than more. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of like, okay, so how could you put wirework in with it without kind of taking away from the stones themselves? So you do tend to just kind of, make a little drop out of the marquises and so on and so forth. So I thought, right, actually, I'm going to put it into the wirework and see if we can use that drop shape a little bit differently.
Yeah.
So that was really where it all kind of started from. But a couple of the other pieces actually came about because of the findings pack. So
I'm bringing the findings to you with the wire in a moment. But I think you at home, do you see what I mean about this kind of Tiffany & Co feel? Obviously the Tiffany blue, but also it is one of those less is more. And I always think sometimes you can spend a lot of time on something creating these really big chunky pieces, and then in moments you can just wire out the top of a marquise, and that can actually look more high-end than the one you've put all the effort into. And I think the gemstones just do the talking in these pieces you've created, don't they?
Yeah, well my natural inclination would be simply to wire wrap the top of one of the marquises and put it in a pair of earrings or something. So that's great, but probably wouldn't make much of a show really. So
these are show-stopping pieces though. They are show-stopping pieces. Your price on this is £39.95, and I do know that is high price for a designer inspiration, but we're working with gems of distinction, serious high quality, and that is a massive discount from the price you should have been paying. Teresa's managed to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stunning pieces with these gemstones. And did you have any left?
Loads.
Yeah.
Loads and loads. I can show, I've got a lot in the stages as well, but I've still got some of the marquises.
You've still got some of the marquise,
and
loads of the kyanite as well.
So
and these that we have left here are with her staging for today. So we've already used some more in the stages for what we've got to show. It goes a real long way. Now, just before we get kicking into yours, I want to give people the opportunity to own the wire. So let's give you a wire. Now, please stay where you are for that bundle. I have still got some left. Do stay where you are for that. I've got the wire and the findings to bring to you now. You've got 20 metres in total of the wire, 10 metres of your 1 mil and 10 metres of our long lost friend, the 0.4. We've got the findings pack in here for you as well, including the organza bag. In the findings pack, you have everything you can see on screen, including but not limited to 1 metre of your chain, 10 metres of your silver, your copper, and you've also got the ball head pins, 50 mil on those ones, which is wonderful. Loads of space to create spirals. absolutely everything you can see on screen is what you'll be getting in this findings pack. So let's reiterate what you're getting and then bring the price in, shall we? 10 metres of your 1mm, 10 metres of your 0.4, your findings pack, your price today, £16.35 on the website, but it's designer inspiration, so of course we're going to give you a lower price. Now the 0.4 is back. We've had it on a few times, haven't we, recently, but it's your chance to get it in a bundle today at a really low price. The price today, just £14.95, and let's be honest about it, these are staples, aren't they? If you haven't got the 0.4 and you've seen it in the bundles with all the gemstones recently and thought, well, actually I don't really need the gemstones, I kind of just want the 0.4, well, you've got findings pack, which we always need, and you've got your structural 1mm as well, which again we always need, and it's yours today for a discounted price, just £14.95. Got lots of people with it in their baskets, but I want to let you know it's not that many of these are having stock. You need to check yourself out on this. Check yourself out on this one. Check out as many times as you want. You know that. Check as many times as you want out. We're not going to charge you extra postage and packaging. It's only when you click to check out that it's guaranteed to be yours. 20 metres of wire in total. Findings pack galore. £14.95 for you today. I am getting into low stock now. If everyone online checked out their baskets right now, I would have a handful left. £14.95. Get yourself on the phone or online, check out your baskets. On the bottom of the screen is that wonderful boutique kyanite collection, and also if you do like this but perhaps you're looking at more pops of colours, I have got an alternate colourway for you in the gemstones coming up shortly. But before that, let's begin. Where should we start on this?
Well,
Teresa?
I don't know if you wanted me to just sort of talk through some of the findings pack, because I got the findings pack primarily so I got some chain in there to work with.
Yeah.
Thought I knew what I was getting, and then opened the pack and found it's a completely different findings pack.
Of course.
Yeah. So the middle pendant is actually just a bit of the connector that comes into the findings pack. That one.
Yeah, I see.
It's that
the brushed
with the,
connector.
yeah, with the stone in there.
Beautiful.
And the one on the far end
Yeah.
was just because I'd got the little twisted jump rings in there.
I love those. They're
Which,
beautiful,
I
aren't
just
they?
had to use them
Really
when I saw
pretty.
those. And the other thing that's really useful with the Gems of Distinction in that pack is not just your ordinary head pins, but your really thin head pins.
Yes.
So they go through all of the gemstones without any problems whatsoever.
They go through pearls easy peasy
Yeah.
as well, which is
Yeah.
wonderful. If you do have any questions for Teresa, why not get in touch with us today? Any questions you might have about her inspiration, about some ideas you might have, perhaps you want a few hints and tips on getting that professional finish, Teresa could be a lady. To just message us in today, either go to JewelleryMaker.com or text us 60777. Start your text with the word JM Studio. It'll wing its way to us and we will answer as many as we possibly can. So let's take a little look where we're going to start on this beautiful piece today.
Well, we're doing the one nearest to me. So, yep, a couple of pieces of the 1mm, around about 20-25 centimetres. I always use more than I need, and then I can use the other bits later on. It just helps with kind of shaping it to have a little bit of something to have a bit of purchase on. The bit of 0.4 I did actually use one piece, but it was about 2.5 metres long, I think.
Wow.
So if you're not confident in using that much, don't worry about it. Use a smaller piece and then just add it in. There's plenty of wraps going round that you can just kind of add it in partway through.
Can you work it off the reel?
I don't tend to, because it just tends to kink on me. I've never had much luck trying to kind of do it that way.
No.
I think it's just kind of trying to get the tension in through all of it. Just doesn't quite work for me.
But you can add on if needs be.
Yeah. So take one that you're comfortable with. I've just got a short length for demo purposes. First thing I'm going to do is just take one of the pieces of 1mm. And start wrapping on. The good thing with the ridiculously long length is that you only need to start from the centre of it. So you've got one piece that's just sort of in the way, but you've only got kind of metre and a bit to worry about.
Mess around,
yeah, so if you assume this is kind of like central, I'm just going to wrap round with the 0.4 5 times actually, although possibly if you did kind of 4 times and then started going the opposite direction with the other side, it leaves a neater finish. Okay. So once we've got the 5 wraps on there, we're then coming across to add in the other piece. And what we actually want is the space in between to be big enough to fit the marquise in.
Okay, yeah.
So you might need to do a little bit of measuring and pop it on and just check.
Okay.
I'm going to put it on in a little while, so you could actually open them out a little bit if it wasn't quite right. So this is the most difficult bit, is kind of holding them both and just wrapping the other side. So try not to kind of pull on that too much. So otherwise it will just kind of pull itself in, really. It's one of my problems because I do tend to wrap quite tightly. So I do tend to pull them in a little bit. And then once you've got the 5 wraps that side, we're then going back over again to wrap back over. And each time we're actually sort of coming through the centre. So you may see, this is going kind of under, up through the centre and then over the top. So it's basically a figure of 8, but with a lot of wraps in between.
With 5 wraps.
So yeah, so we've got the 5 wraps, and then at a suitable point, when you're feeling confident, you can pop the marquise in. So I'm going to come through there and I'm going to pop it in there. And just take, they're all different kind of shapes and sizes. There's usually enough in there to make a pair or a couple of pairs of earrings that are similar. Yeah. But you could have a fatter one or a thinner one, a bit longer, a bit bigger, bit smaller, however you sort of wanted it. And then that is actually just going to sit in between the 2 wires there. This is kind of upside down now at the moment. Yeah. So we're now just going over the same wraps as we did before, but with the marquise in there as well. So this may just sort of get a little bit kind of complicated for a moment, just because it's sort of in the way.
But you're just resting your thumb at the back to keep it in line,
yeah.
aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, the one, it's a naughty tip because I know we haven't had any in for a while. But I was lucky enough to get the gem setting toolkit. Yeah. And the ring clamp in there is absolutely perfect if you've got a couple of wires to pop on where my thumb is, basically, as almost kind of third hand. It's holding that in place, and then you're not having to kind of fight with it. Just hold it there, and then you can be using this,
Could you use a handy helping hands for that as well?
I think you could. I haven't tried it, but I think that kind of crocodile clip sort of thing, just to keep them, because what they tend to want to do is just sort of flip around, basically. They're not going to go anywhere particularly because they are bound together. Yeah. But if they've got a slight kind of curve in them, which they will have coming off the reel, they do like to sort of wiggle about a little bit. So it just stops that, really.
Fab. Single figures of the wire left. You need to get your hands on it whilst you can. I mean, single figures, the screen has just gone off, but there are still some available. It is 10 metres of your 1mm, 10 metres of your 0.4, your silver findings pack, reduced price today, but I've got 9 left, and that is it.
Now all I'm going to do is continue doing that until I've got 2 or 3, depends how big you want to make the piece, 2 or 3 of the sets of wraps on either side. So we've got the ones that we started from. We've got 2 on one side of the wire, 1 the other, and 1 each side here. And once I have carried on a bit, something's just disappeared off. Probably something necessary for later. We shall see. So here we've actually got 3 of those wraps either side, 3 sets of wraps on each of the wires on either side of the gemstone.
I see.
If that's too complicated, which it's beginning to sound a bit complicated, I was doing an awful lot of counting on this. You can actually just kind of count the struts that you've got between as well, which is actually 5. Okay. That might be just easier. Yeah. And then what we're actually going to do is start shaping. There is one, well, actually I won't say anything because it's a sort of spot the difference, I think, a bit later on. So you can decide really if you want it, which is the front of your gemstone, which side you want the front to be.
Yes.
And it might just be a bit rounder, or there was one in, and I don't know if it was the ovals actually, but one side of it was really quite silvery and one side was really deep blue.
So you just picked which one
so
you
you
wanted.
could pick whichever one you wanted, yeah. And then obviously you need to decide which way, if it's coming forward, if it's going on to the right or to the left. That one's obviously kind of coming rightwards, so we shall see if I can figure out that way. As I was doing all the staging, and then I finished one, it's like, actually, hang on a minute. And then what we're going to do, we've got 5 just kind of coming upwards, and so the side that's going to be the widest curve is going to have obviously more wraps on it. It's going to need more wraps on it. So, but I don't want it to kind of look like it's suddenly changing.
Yeah.
So the transition bit is this bit now, which is 6 wraps on this side, and then 5 wraps back down. Right. If I try counting and talking at the same time, it doesn't work. I think that's 6. And then 5 back down here, and then once we've got that, that's the only transition sort of stage.
Okay.
Oh, it's just getting a little bit ragged. So take your time just to make sure that those wraps are quite neat.
Yep.
I think that is, hang on, let me just check, 5. And then what we're going to do for the rest of the piece is 6 on the top.
And 5 at the
Sorry,
bottom.
7 on the top. I've done
7
6.
on the top.
7 on the top. I'll just confuse everybody, shall I?
So you do.
And then 4 on the bottom.
Okay.
So we've sort of gone up on one wire, down on the other, so it can then start kind of bending
shaping
aroundwards.
itself around.
Yeah.
I see. So initially we do 5 top and bottom, and then after 5 bars come down, or as many as you want, you do 6 at the top and 5 at the bottom, and then from there outwards you do 7 at the top and 4 at the bottom, just to give it this beautiful curve that you can see it naturally creating in this piece here.
I'm just doing a couple of them there. That's the I think hopefully the start of the 7 and the 4, and you can actually see, and I'll just kind of bunch it up a little bit, that it's wanting to kind of go that way. If the wires are straight, you've got a space here. They will sort of pull out a little bit at the moment, but it is just naturally wanting to kind of shape itself if they're all kind of tight together, which is what you're looking for, pushing them up.
Fab.
So you want to do that one side and the other side for a little bit. I've tended to leave it straight, because if you bend it first off, you then can't get in very easily, or the other bits are in, the other side's in the way.
In the way.
Yeah. So once we've done that a little bit more, and I will actually count how many I did. I believe it was 5 of the 7s on the outside.
Yep.
That I've got up to, and that's what you've actually got to now.
I see. So again, you've done 5 like you did for the 5. So 5 of the 5, 1 of the 6, 5 of the 7.
Well, on one sort of strut here, coming out from the marquees, you've got 3 of the 5 wraps, 1 6 and 5 7.
Get you. Fab.
Write it down quick, because I'll probably forget. So that's the shape you've got now, still in the flat. It doesn't need to stay flat this long. You can start shaping it just to see where you get to.
I see, yeah.
You might want to start adding the other gemstones earlier. So, you know, as you design along, I didn't start off like that. It was just easier once you start staging to actually leave it flat. But then all you're needing to do to shape it is actually start bending it in the middle. And I started with quite a gentle curve, actually.
Okay.
So it is just gently bending it up. No tools, no particular sort of issues. You can grab hold of the marquees that's going to be in the centre, and just make sure they're kind of splaying outwards as well as coming upwards.
Okay.
And really just sort of keep playing with it a bit until you've got the shape that you want. I ended up actually quite a lot flatter than I thought I would to begin with, just because I liked that shape. So that's all you've kind of got is the V shape. And if you kind of push all of these down, you'll see where the curves are beginning to go as well. This one looks a bit straighter because it's not pushed down. So that's kind of where you're getting to, and you might want it a little bit further out. Depends how you sort of want it. You might also find at this stage that this is hanging a little bit sort of off to one side. I think it's actually fairly straight, this one, but you can just sort of give it a little bit of a tweak if it is not in quite the right place.
Okay.
And then what you're doing is starting to add the gemstones on the side. And again, all I'm doing exactly the same as I did with the marquees, adding them in as I do the weaves. So I've got one of the little ones here. Again, have a look at the strand. They do graduate in. So I think I did actually take a small one, a bit larger one, and a little bit of a small one again, just to kind of make that shape. You could go larger than that to start with, have really small ones, all the small ones on there, however you want to kind of shape it up really. And the shaping of the wings, if you like, I think it just did sort of end up looking a bit bird-like. That is entirely up to you as you're going on. If you didn't want that curve, obviously you need to kind of play about with the coils a little bit. So yeah, just popping that on as we're going over the, just wondering if I can actually do it backwards for you, so you can see what I'm doing. So that's threaded on. It's actually coming over the top of this, this wire, so I'll pop it through the bottom. I should have done it the other side, and then it'd have been a bit easier. You might find it wants to sit at the bottom there, so just kind of make sure it's sort of popped through. If you do a wrap to start with, and then kind of push it down, it might be that these aren't quite splayed out enough yet, but it will kind of find its place really as you go. If you just make sure the wire and the wrapping's tight, then you won't go too far wrong. Okay. And then carry on with the wraps, and what you'll find, because you've only got 4 at the bottom there, when you come back up, the next one will be underneath this. This is the front. So actually you're coming over the back of that stone, and it will help hold it in place. It won't be going anywhere at all. This one won't, because it's over the top of the wire anyway. Some of the ones I did were actually inside, totally inside, so they do have a bit of potential to spin, but that one won't. So once it's got that, it won't. Okay. And then just carry on with the wrapping. Do a few up to where you want to put the next one in, and I think there was about 5 struts actually between them, 4 or 5 struts. Okay. But you're just sort of carrying on, and
until it builds up a little bit.
That's what you've got with the
it's beautiful that you can see the wire just in between. It's really pretty. If you do want to get your hands on the wire, it is up on there right now. 5 left, and that is all. 10 meters of your 1 mil, 10 meters of your 0.4, and your findings pack. If you've been waiting to get your hands on 0.4, but perhaps we've only done it with gemstones in the past, this is your chance to get it, because let's face it, we don't always need more gemstones, but we do always need findings. This is your price today, discounted to just $14.95, but I've got 5 left, so get yourself on the phone lines now, please.
So that's the finished, sort of one side finished, apart from obviously you've got these wires in the way. After the final gemstone, again, entirely up to you how many wraps you want to do, how much further you want to go, and how much you want to kind of pull that in to itself. You might want to leave them quite wide, you might want them to almost kind of come together, but I've only got kind of three of the struts going over the back. And then all I did to finish it off was to get my trusty bail making pliers back out again. The bottom piece of wire I used on the smallest one, and just bent it round in the same direction it was going. I always tend to bend it first, and then I know where I'm supposed to be cutting it. So just grab the pliers.
If you've not got your bail pliers, can you use your round nose?
You can. For that one, I think actually it is almost near the base of the. Actually, I will just check if I just close that up a little bit now.
Trusty squidge.
Yeah, and we can see on the ordinary ones, it's actually it's about almost a centimetre down.
Yep.
So that's where you'd be for that one. And for the larger one, I think, I can't actually remember which one I used.
Do the middle?
Now. I have a feel, I don't think it was, you can just kind of check. No, that's bigger. It's the third biggest. So actually on the bail making pliers, on the smallest setting, it's the next one down.
Yeah, I see.
It's probably because I couldn't be bothered to turn them around. Just left them in my hand as they were and carried on. So yeah, so that one's gone round there, and this is where you can actually sort of, you can see at the moment these are sort of pushed out. So this is the point to kind of make sure they're pushed up, figure out where this is going to end, and once you've actually snipped that off, see if I can actually get it right. Oh, there we go. If you've got those sort of pushed up, and then close that, almost like closing a jump ring basically.
I see.
The bit of wire that has gone round is actually holding all of the coils then in place. So it's keeping it tight. And that's all I did with that one, and I'll just check on these. Yeah, it'd probably be
right
the base.
Near the
of them.
base.
Yeah,
so you could do it with your round nose pliers as well.
Yeah. So that was the centre piece of that one, just done exactly the same.
Beautiful.
The other side.
How pretty is that? So gorgeous. And then how do we attach this on?
Well, I have to admit, it was only because I ended up doing the pendant that I then thought, actually, I'm going to run out of chain here before too much longer. I did end up having some left. Oh, and I did want to do some chain on the bracelet as well. Yeah. So I was then sort of thinking, I might actually not have enough chain for all the stuff I want to do with the chain now. So what I thought, right, okay, I'm not going to, you could actually just attach that straight on to some chain. But I thought, no, I will save my chain a little bit, and I will make some more arms for the piece, which actually I think worked out quite
I think it looks beautiful. I think it
kind of
makes
added
it
to
look,
the design.
Yeah, it does.
It was one of those sort of, okay, how am I going to do this sort of stage. This is the 1mm, well, 2 lots of the 1mm twisted together with the wire twister tool.
Yep.
Now, I know, I think strictly speaking, one should probably use the twister pliers when you get to the 1mm wire, because it is a little bit stronger, and I am a little concerned about the plastic disc on the ordinary wire twister breaking. So I went very, very carefully and thought, well, if I break it, I break it. I'm not going to have any twisted wire on there, and I just have to not tell anybody about it. However, I can report that it is still in one piece.
Yeah,
I do still have it. So yeah, just go carefully with it. If it's feeling as if it's not going to do anything, if it feels like the wire's fighting it, don't carry on. You know, don't go kind of hell for leather with it. Just take it gently, and it does actually work.
Okay.
So yeah, 2 pieces of the 1mm wire just twisted together, and then I think I did actually just sort of twist it and see how long I wanted to make it.
Yeah.
So probably this time I did use my round nose plier to make some smaller. And what I tend to do with twisted wire, I'm not sure if it would with the 1mm, if you start right from the end, it does tend to want to kind of untwist itself a bit. So I tend to start making my curve a little way in. You just see where I'm kind of starting that. And then once I've got most of it done, I can chop off that end piece.
I see.
Oh, or I can't chop off that end piece.
And then it kind of, you can loop it around seamlessly, I suppose. Just want to let you know, just whilst you're chopping, wire-wise, $14.95 for the 0.4, the 1mm and the findings pack. Oh, seriously low single figures. 2. I've got 2 left. So who's going to be the last people to get their hands on it? If you wanted the 0.4 but you've not been totally sure about getting everything else, then that's your chance. Get it now whilst you can. Last 2 to get.
So yeah, I might make a little bit better job of it than that. It's still a little bit not rounded, but we'll go with that for now. So that's just the loop on the end. It's not splayed out too much. I've just pushed it back so it's square, it's flat. And then what I think I did actually was just keep going with that kind of bend a little bit, just to get the bend in it. and then decide how long you wanted to make that arm, that piece, and start sort of bending it back on itself the other side. Because it's obviously two lots of the 1 mil, it is getting a little bit stronger than normal. It isn't too bad, but then again, what I'd do again is kind of chop it off and then make the spiral the other side. But that's basically the shape of it.
Lovely.
Just needs chopping.
Fab. And then you just attached it with a jump ring, didn't you?
Yeah, just the jump rings that were in the kit.
Yep. So we've just attached it here with the jump rings that you get in that findings pack. And then again attach with a jump ring at the top onto your selection of chain. And what made you go for the beautiful S-shape clasp?
Well, I mean, I love them, and obviously it gave her the chance because it's an extender in there. I think actually it's the ones with the ribbon ends, cord ends. Yeah. So I just took the cord ends off and attached it onto the chain. But then it gave me the opportunity to put a little drop
beautiful
of the
little
marquise on there
shape on the bottom as well. Now, just before we have a little look at your next section, your next piece, I'm going to give you the opportunity to own the alternate colourway of this. Now, in here, you've got 3 strands again. And what we've gone for is, opposed to the blue, we've gone for similar shapes, but we wanted to offer you it in a completely different look. These are so springtime. Think of a spring garden, dewdrops, and you've got it in this bundle. Take a look at these. This is your alternate colourway on this kit. You've got in here 35 carats worth of the peridot in these 3 mil plain rounds, same size as the moonstone. You also have in here your pink colour-coated pyrite, and these are the marquee shapes again. 16 centimetre strand on this, 100 carats worth in there. These are graduated all the way up to 16 by 9 mil, so some really sizable standout pieces. As well as that, you have got the clear quartz puffy ovals. These are 10 by 8 mil. You've got 90 carats worth in this strand. This is really summertime garden, isn't it? You can imagine the green stalks of the peridot just climbing out from the ground, these beautiful marquise pink buds, and this beautiful clear quartz dewdrops as well on there. It is an alternate colourway. I know that a lot of people, you have really been enjoying the looks that we've created with this, but we're going to give you a low price point on this. So if you haven't been able to quite get your hands on the kyanite pieces today, it's not going to be £20.85. That is the price it would be right now. If you were to go on the website at this moment in time, it would be £20.85 for these 3 individually. But we're going to do a seriously low price slash. We're about to take an extra £1 off it as well. The price today on this, £13.95. It's a price not to be missed out on. We want to give you something that plenty of people, if you can't afford the kyanite, you can still create these absolutely stunning pieces the wonderful Teresa has created at a different colourway at a low price point, £13.95. But we still have some of the kyanite left. If you are looking at going for seriously high quality, it's at the bottom of your screen. But for the lower price point, £13.95, create the look with a different tone and a lower price. These are yours today if you get your hands on them right now. QMGC01, £13.95 today.
That pink pyrite is just
fun, isn't it?
Else, isn't
it's really fun, poppy, really bright. Some really sizable piece on there as well, isn't there? Beautiful. So let's go on to the next piece we're going to have a little look at you creating, which is this beautiful one in the centre here, isn't it?
Yeah. I thought I'd just kind of go through that briefly. How much time have we got?
Oh, don't worry, you've got about 20 minutes.
Excellent. Oh,
well, about 18. Let's not go over the top.
Right. So yeah. So I've already done the spoiler on that one. It is the section of the clasp.
Yep.
Catch.
That you find in your findings pack.
Yeah. There's the other side, which I didn't use. Simply because it's got the cut piece in it, and obviously this piece has got a little kind of groove, which was kind of why the wire wrapping ended up where it did, because I wanted to just kind of hide that basically. So the first thing to do actually is again go back to the kyanite, the ovals. And pick the piece you want to use. You have to be a little bit careful with this because it needs to, well, it doesn't have to, you could sit it on top anyway, but I wanted to leave a little bit of space around the gemstone for the wire to go.
I see.
So
you don't want it to fit really snug?
No, so if you kind of see that piece there, I don't know if we can get it on the
should be able to see
the
that.
Top.
There is a little bit of a gap just around.
There's a tiny little bit of a gap, but probably not enough. One like that, bit more space there, you can see it's kind of moving around. So that's absolutely perfect size for it. So once we've kind of decided which one, as I say, it doesn't matter, you could sit it on top if you wanted to, it's just my kind of preference, I suppose. Then we want a piece of the 0.4. And I actually started with the wrapping just to make sure I'd got the wire over that groove. So that's where I started the wire from. This has got a bit of a messy end.
Have we got any of that wire bundle left, gentlemen? Ooh! Ooh, really? We've managed to secure a couple more of that wire kit because there was some that we will manage to unlock. So I've got 5 now. 5, a whopping 5 of these left. You have got this this clasp in the findings pack as well. You get the 0.4 and the 1mm. $14.95 discounted price for you today. 5 left though, so treat yourself whilst you can. And if you haven't managed to get your hands on the 0.4 since we've had it back in, you still can't buy it separately at this moment in time, so this really is your best option to do that. $14.95 for all of it today.
Yeah, as you can see, I've just started the wrap at the top there.
That's where the little groove is, isn't it?
So that's where the groove is. Actually, it does help in sort of holding it where it needs to be. You don't have to, if you're quite happy having the groove there, you don't have to have the wire there. But all I'm going to do is wrap right the way down to the bottom. And unfortunately, because I've got the other one on there and this one here, it's not a one I made earlier kind of a job. So what I'm probably going to do is, I mean what I did on that piece is wire it close to each other right the way down. What I'm probably going to do with this one, and we'll see what the effect is just cheat a little bit and do a few wraps, yes.
Okay.
Which shouldn't look bad, it should just look different.
And you've just sort of got to take your time on this bit, really, haven't you? Because you're getting the wire through such a small hole, it could kink, I presume, relatively easily if you were too quick.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need a huge piece of wire, there should be plenty. And
it's about 50 centimetres.
Yeah, I mean, you're threading it through, so you are actually sort of going right the way down the length of it with your hand every time you're kind of threading it through. One thing you will find, which is this is already sort of doing, is it doesn't sort of sit flat. I don't know if you can kind of get in and see, maybe from that side of it, that they're actually sort of sitting up. It's kind of going around rather than flat too. So all you need to do, if I can find them, is my trusty nylon jaw pliers or flat nose, and just keep sort of pushing it down every now and again just to make sure it's flat. These will sort of go a bit out because of them being far apart. The closer they are together, the less they've got anywhere to go, bar down. So we'll just do a couple more wraps just to get to the bottom.
If you do want to get your hands on the alternate colourway, then that is the one at the bottom of your screen now. It's $13.95 for these 3 gemstones. I'll just talk whilst you're wrapping, see. See, casual.
Seamless.
Yeah, seamless, right? This is the one that's at the bottom of the screen now. It's the same shapes realistically to the kyanite because, of course, we had the moonstone in the same size as this peridot. We had the marquise of the kyanite and we had the ovals of the kyanite as well. So it's creating a similar look in the sense of shapes, but of course totally different with the colour poppings you've got in there too. That's the low $13.95 for you on this today. today. And if you are going for serious luxury, then the kyanite is your boutique collection at $39.95 today. 2 strands of kyanite in there, including that rainbow moonstone.
Right, now I'm just taking off the first end of the wire, and we're just squidge that back down, so it's out of the way, and then all we've got to worry about is the end that we're using, and then all we need to do is get that kyanite on there.
So that's once you've got into the middle at the bottom, isn't it?
So it's now, let's just pop it in place. It's now in the middle of the piece. The wire's now kind of coming up through the gemstone and up to the top.
I see.
And then there was a small kind of moment where it's kind of like, okay, what am I going to do now? Because you can't wrap over where the loop is for the bail. So did I want to go at the side, and would that push the gemstone out a little bit?
Yeah.
So I just went with it
Through?
and went through the loop.
Keeps it nice and straight, doesn't it?
Just one of the wraps through the loop there. The finger's in the way. And then I carried on going back through the centre. Now obviously the gemstone's in the way, so it's a little bit more complicated. There's still plenty of room. And it will move about a little bit until you finish the wraps as well. And then came out over the side. And then the other kind of design decision to make was how far to wrap down that side.
Okay,
you could just kind of leave it at a couple of wraps at the top there. You could go part way down. You could go all the way down, so you've got kind of like the 2 sides, which I think is what I ended up doing. So you've got kind of a quarter wrapped at opposite sides.
But you can do what you feel.
Yeah, so you can do whatever you feel. If you find it is, after you've finished wrapping, this is still loose because I haven't finished wrapping. If you find it is still loose when you've finished wrapping, what you can do is pop this, the piece at the back into a little coil, or even across again and wrap at the bottom, just to hold it at the back if it is moving around. It probably won't be an awful lot if you've wrapped all the way down and then all the way on the other side. And then that's that piece. And I think the only other thing to mention with that one, and this only came about because I was, I've got like one bust at home, and I just kind of keep chucking them on there. If you can just pass me those 2.
Chucking them on?
Chucking them on there. Once they're done, just so they're not sitting on the ground, you know, on the table on their own. So I just kind of layered them up and then thought, oh, actually, that sort of works quite
so
nicely
pretty, isn't it?
together. And then I thought, do I want to check? And no, I'll keep them as they are. But what you could do actually is attach this in to the sides at the armatures there as well, and just have it as one piece, or just layer them up as you fancy.
And because you've got them on the extender chain as well, because you've got, I think it's 3 sets of extender chain in that findings pack, you can just have them separately but wear them together at different lengths if you wanted.
Yeah, so you could have it higher up or lower down as you felt like it. Yeah.
I love that. Almost gives it a charm bracelet necklace thing to it, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful. And doesn't it look beautiful and dramatic? Do you see what I mean, Tiffany? Screams it, doesn't it? So beautiful. Really pretty. Well, Teresa, thank you for showing us those. We have got a couple more minutes if you want to talk us through another one of your pieces.
I could talk you through the bracelets.
Yeah, go on.
Because the earrings are exactly the same style, same technique, apart from obviously you don't kind of splay it out, you carry on around.
Yeah. And
you only need to carry on a little bit at the back if you just kind of show the side view, so they're not going all the way back up again. The bracelet really just kind of came about because of my graduated strand of the kyanite ovals. I had this quite long one in the middle. I have got to use that for something. And it is a real shame actually that the moonstone doesn't kind of show its true character, I think,
under these
under the
lights. Yeah.
Because I've had some moonstone before now, and I've got it home, and you're in the house and it's a bit dark and you think, oh, it's just white, and then it's only when the sun comes out or if I put my full spectrum light on that you realise just how much there is in there. That was the light plate was just jumping about straight away. So it's just kind of straight side on, and then some of the little moonstones that I've kind of wrapped into a piece, all kind of together, put together with the jump rings in the pack. I think there's a few jump rings around and about that I actually made as well, just off of Gizmo. Makes them a little bit larger than the ones that are in the pack. So if you're finding everything's bunched up a little bit too far together, you can make it just with a standard Gizmo.
And you can Gizmo it through, can't you? So it's I love as well, if I show you the back of this, I think it's really pretty the way that you've just added that little detail at the back of the moonstone. What made you want to add that?
Well, I think
because essentially you don't have to.
No, well, it's always difficult with bracelets because you don't want too much kind of bulk. Well, I find I think I just kind of sit with my wrists resting on stuff quite a lot. Yeah. If I've got really large gemstones, they kind of dig in. So I don't tend to have an awful lot there. But it just seems a real shame to have all of the design at the top and then nothing else happening.
No, I see.
So it's just kind of nice to have something at
that is so pretty, and it's almost got a chainmail feel to it, doesn't it? Can you see how it's just brought to life? It's quite modern, but of course it's got the moonstone as well, which we can think a bit Art Nouveau. It's a beautiful mix of trends you have in this, isn't there?
Yeah, and somehow it totally escaped me until I actually put it together that it looks like an eye.
Yeah, it does. It does actually. Yeah. Warding off evil, the evil eye said, isn't it? So pretty. Will you talk us through how you did this beautiful necklace at the end as well? Because I know you gave us a little sneaky that it was to do with the beautiful spaces that you got. Yeah. So just talk us through what you did with those.
Well, I mean, essentially, I just, as I say, I opened the findings pack and it was just kind of like, ooh. And it's like, oh no, I've got to use them for something. What am I going to use them for? And there just happens to be 10 in there, so they just happen to kind of arrange themselves quite nicely in a little triangle.
So you did 4 at the top, 3, 2, and then 1.
Yep. In order to put them together, you do need jump rings, and the ones in the pack are ever so slightly too small to get round. So don't try it because it will just frustrate you. However, standard Gizmo, the 1mm wire wrap round, and then cut into gemstones or sawn. If you saw cut, I tend to saw cut I'm just a bit picky like that. I tend to sort of cut my jump rings, and then all you need is to attach every single one together. So I don't know if I can kind of. You can see sort of close enough really, but basically, so for each row obviously you've got them kind of attached together, but then the ones coming in the row next to it you'll need 2, one to attach to the first one in the top row, one to attach to the second one in the top row.
I see, yep. So for each one that's next door to each other you just need 1, and then each one that's dropping below. Yeah. So essentially just will everyone have 3 jump rings off it?
Yeah, apart from the ones
end.
At the top, yeah. But I mean if you just kind of started with 1, add 1 in, and then make a triangle out of it.
Yep.
And then add another one wherever you like. You could add this one in down here, make another triangle out of it and make sure they're attached to each other. And keep going, keep building it up until you've finished making triangles.
I see.
And run out of jump rings.
And if you didn't have a Gizmo and you don't have jump rings, could you just create loops with, say, your round nose or your bails?
Yes, you can do. I mean, the bail making pliers, I do tend to use the smallest one because I haven't got a Gizmo rod that is around about 2mm.
I see, right. Have you just got the Gizmo with the 2 rods?
No, I have got the other one, but that still doesn't quite have the
large,
one rod that I need. I know. I need another. Product development. Yeah. You could do the bottom of the round nose pliers are quite quite big. The bail making pliers, obviously we've got 6 different versions on there.
Yeah.
I've not tested which one would work for this, but I'm sure one would be fine.
One would be okay.
And if the jump rings are a little bit too big, obviously all that will happen is that it's a little bit further apart rather than tight together.
I get you. And then we've attached on the moonstone, haven't we?
Yes.
These beautiful drops, but they're quite delicate, aren't they?
Yeah.
How did you create that look? Because they are so precise. Of course, it's you.
It's me and Becky, yeah. Well, yeah, in terms of the drop, I mean, I started off, I put the kyanite drop on the bottom, and it was, well, it was an interesting one because I wanted the ball of the head pin on there, and you never know quite how much wrapping you're going to make, so I just sort of made it up and it worked. The others obviously are just straight through. You can see the little ball head pins. They are all the small head pins in there. Just did a wrapped loop, but remembered to put the loop on to the twisted jump rings before I finished wrapping it, because otherwise you can't get it on there.
On there, of course. So that is
Yes.
a good tip.
So
actually.
make the loop.
Yeah.
So you know it's kind of rounded. Then pop it on to one of the jump rings, and then do the wrap.
Okay, brilliant. So you can add that on. And can I just point out as well, if you are getting your hands on the alternate colourway, this low price bundle that's at the bottom, $13.95, can you imagine, instead of the moonstone, the pop of the peridot there? Wow, that's going to brighten it up massively, isn't it? These are the same size as well, aren't they? They're very similar in size to that moonstone. I have still got a handful of the alternate colourway left, but not as many as we would like, so get yourself on the phone lines. If perhaps you just want to have a little play with this look before you treat yourself to the boutique beautiful kyanite, then why not treat yourself to the alternate colourway? It's a really, really low price, cracking discount, $13.95 for you on this today for the alternate colourway. But if you are looking at creating those bridal boutique high-end pieces, do not forget the kyanite collection. You've got 2 strands of kyanite. One of the strands, the marquee shapes, was $24.95 by itself. You're getting 2 strands of kyanite and a Gems of Distinction strand of your rainbow moonstone, 40 carats worth on there of the 3 mils, and altogether it was just £39.95. Bargain. Now, thank you so much for putting this together for us and showing us these absolutely stunning pieces. I want to let you know I don't think we've got any of that wire left, but do check on the website. We might have a couple. Give me a little summary of what you've got coming up in your second piece.
Well, we've got some hammering going on.
Good.
As I said, it's quite a lot of pink, but if you think pink gemstones, you might be thinking, I don't know, morganite or something.
You're being very cagey, aren't you? So a little bit of texturing. Is it quite modern, quite vintage, or?
I don't know. I don't tend to kind of think type when I'm doing it. I just sort of put it together and it kind of comes out how it sort of comes out, really. So yeah, I think it's got kind of quite natural sort of flowing shapes. So hopefully it's quite nice.
Hopefully it's quite nice. Trust me, it is more than quite nice. You will see it very soon. See you after this break.
JewelleryMaker ships to the following countries. We offer 2 delivery services, standard and premium. So wherever you are in the world, JewelleryMaker are never far away.
Book now to take part in the Gemporia experience. Take a behind-the-scenes tour of our TV studios, meet the presenters, and learn about gemstones and jewellery. The price of £169 includes an overnight stay at the picturesque White Swan Hotel, a buffet lunch, refreshments, and a 3-course dinner. Dates are limited, so call or email us now for an experience you'll never forget.
Tune in to JewelleryMaker from Friday the 7th of March for the return of The Late Show. Watch 4 hours of jam-packed fun and great offers with your presenters Ed and Ali. Make sure you take advantage of the last Miss It Miss Out shows this week and grab yourself all the last in stock items, because if you've missed them, then you will have missed out. The Late Show, only on JewelleryMaker.
Welcome back to JewelleryMaker, and thank you for joining me. My name is Becky, and the lovely lady working on her challenge over here is Teresa. How is your challenge going, or is it not yet?
Okay. Early stages yet, but yeah, thinking about a necklace at the moment. So yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a good place to start. Now, I have got in this section for you something seriously spring-like. This section is bringing to you our wonderful spring equinox. It is nearly that time of year already. 20th of March is official date of the spring equinox. Bring on the warmer weather. We have got something to really put a spring in your step today, and we're going to start with a seriously wild bundle. Take a look at this. Le Fric, c'est chic. Festival jewellery. This is a complete beauty, and I've managed to very sneakily hide something in here. I'm going to show it you in a minute. There's something in this bundle which you are going to love. Now, I have got organza ribbon like no other. Serious stasher amount. I would get it all out, but I'd probably be here all week. You have got your peppermint. You've got your royal blue. You have got your amethyst tone as well of this. If I get it all out, I'm going to be here weeks. We'll get it out beforehand next time. Get it out beforehand next time, won't we? We've got, look at this as well. Beautiful, like him, forestry colour. You've got lemon. Are you going to some festivals this year? Some of your family going? Are you going to any festivals this year, Teresa?
Not that I know of yet.
Not that I know.
Planned.
Oh,
So you never know.
Do you go for the camping scene?
I'm not a big camper.
You're
no.
not? I love camping. I don't know why. Not at all. But I am one of those people who at a festival is still tottering around in my heels. I know I am. It's horrendous, but I am. Look at all of this that you're getting out. I've just got out a few more purple, beautiful lime green, pink, and finally this citrus orange. Isn't this a serious collection of organza? Now this is beautiful for, well, anything really. You can macrame with it, you can kumihimo with it, you can just use it as the talk on your necklace as well. There's so much you can do. If you can do a braid, you can do a plait, you can create some really standout looks with this. As well as that, I'm still managing to hide the exciting thing. In fact, if I'm sneaky, I might hand the thing under here. Yep. Sneaky. That's coming up in a minute. I've also got more threading materials for you. If you thought the organza cord was going to stop there, it's not. There's some baby pink, there's some baby lilac, and there's some really hot pink in here as well. So, of this, each one is a beautiful 10 metre in length. So, how many have you got in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wow, 10 metres each, that's a serious amount. More threading material, you have beautiful satin cord in your baby pink and in your cream. threading materials also. You've got your beading thread, your elastic and your monofilament total stash essentials. As well as this, you've got gemstones. No, I'm not stopping there yet. I've got, honestly, loads going on in here. Gemstone strands as well. I'm actually running out of space on the desk. Wow, that's how many goodies I've got in here for you. Really bright, beautiful spring equinox colours. You've got in here 8 carats of your beautiful peridot in here. You've got this really bright shell as well, haven't you? This wonderful shell pearl here in almost fluorescent orange, yellow even, orange, yellow. You've also got in here, what else have we got? 35 carats, sorry, of the striped agate. That is this beautiful striped agate at the side here. Your fuchsia agate you've got in here too. These are huge, 310 carats worth, 16 mil on there. 200 carats worth of turquoise banded agate going on this wonderful lengthy strand here. And if I get these tiny, almost seed bead ones at the end here too, you've got 7 carats of your amethyst on those ones as well. It's beautiful. Look at the size on these ones, are so delicate, really pretty. 2 mil rounds, and they are faceted. Imagine faceting by hand each of these. Wowzers. So, I told you I wasn't stuffing there though, didn't I? You at home have been waiting for these. We've not had them in for ages, and we've got them in a different colourway to the usual. Do you want to see if you can maybe, don't give it away. I hope you didn't see that at home, I hope you blinked. Have a little look what's under here. Dum, 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 dum. What is in my Aladdin's cave? What's this? Headbands. We have headbands galore, 5 of them in here, in this beautiful rose gold colour. What do you think of these, Ruby? Do you wear headbands, Ruby?
Yeah.
Yeah? Hi, Ruby, say hello, wave. Beautiful Ruby is helping us out today, and this, come on over here, Ruby and Kirsty. This is my, I was going to say old producer Kirsty then, but it makes her sound like she's
really
aged.
old, yeah.
And this is Ruby. Ruby, what do you think of all of these colours?
They're nice.
Which is your favourite colour?
Pink.
Which one, this pink?
Yeah.
What about this pink?
That one is my favourite.
And why?
Why is pink your favourite?
Why is pink your favourite?
Because it's rose quartz.
Because it's like rose quartz. Well done, Ruby. Which one is your favourite gemstone, Ruby?
Rose quartz.
It's your favourite. I think we might have some coming up for you later.
Ooh.
Do you like this one here as well?
Yeah.
What's that?
This is morganite.
Oh, we're going to see that, aren't we? Where's the
Yeah.
morganite?
Where's the morganite?
The morganite is in the museum.
Yeah, have you been to see it yet?
You're going to go see it in a minute.
Are you going to go and see it in a little
Yeah.
bit? Oh, good. Well, thank you very much, Ruby and
That's all
Kirsty,
right.
for your help.
We're on our way out, but it's taking longer to get out than in, so never mind.
Do you keep getting...
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye! Say goodbye to people at home. Bye-bye! I'll see you later. Have fun. Oh my goodness, I could literally eat her. So, bye-bye! Oh my goodness, isn't she adorable? Back to the job, Becky. We have got here for you all of this organza cord. 5 of your new headbands in this beautiful rose gold colour. You've got all of these stunning gemstone strands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gemstone strands in total. Your beading thread, your monofilament and your elastic. This is the price you should be paying. £49.55. But because Ruby liked it so much, should we take some money off for you? Le Frixe Chic for just £29.95. That is sure to put a spring into your step. Have you not done festival wear before? Perhaps you haven't worked with the idea of creating looks for festivals before. If that is the case, give it a go this year. Festivals are absolutely huge. The amount of people that go to them is almost unimaginable. And truly, the colour mixing, the colour blocking that goes on is crazy. People do theme nights. People have flower headbands massively. And also, do not just think of the headband as a headband as you might think of it. A lot of the look that's going on right now is the headband that actually goes across the forehead, and you can use this for them, especially with the ribbon at the back. And imagine maybe even just weaving over here a bit of the ribbon with some of the gemstones, and then leaving these long locks down here for them to tie and create almost flower-like effects. Also, what about scarf-like effect? Really, if you haven't tried festival looks before, it is seriously a big money making business, especially when it's coming to these bright colours as well. And you know what, it doesn't just go for festivals. Think of the big holidays. You know, when I've been to Ibiza in the past, you see people in seriously bright colours all day long, people going on boat parties with beautiful huge coloured headwear that lasts them all the way through the night. This is definitely something that you can add your own little spring, your own little touch on. It's a whacking great discount today, is nearly 50% off actually, £29.95. Treat yourself today, give yourself a little bit of something different. I'll put my clown wig over in the corner. Now, I've got more goodies in the spring. Sorry, Becky. Oh, my day's just throwing stuff at you now. Sorry. Spring equinox. Oh, awkward. Spring equinox. Let's bring you some more bright colours, shall we? How about some beautiful aquamarine? If you got that emerald before, imagine this paired with them top drill drops again. 85 carats worth of aquamarine, known as the gemstone of the mermaids. Numerous reasons. The main reason it's known as the gemstone of the mermaids is it's so said that mermaids used to cry tears of aquamarine to try and get sailors to crash against their rocks. But also, actually, in true history, let's say, not that mermaids don't exist, we don't know. If you watch Harry Potter, Pip, I know you do, but genuinely as a gemstone, it has been used in the past as sailors used to take handfuls of it on board ship with them. When winds would soar and, you know, waves were crashing against the ship, they would actually throw gemstones into the ocean because they believed that it would calm the storm and quell the storm itself and hopefully guide them to safety. So that's another reason it's known as the gemstone of the mermaids. 85 carats, let me bring in your price. 26 centimetre strands, your price today. Wonderful £14.95. It is one of the most luxurious gemstones. People absolutely adore aquamarine, and actually it was really close in the running as one of your favourites in last year's votes, wasn't it? £14.95 is your price on that one today. Have a look at this lovely strand of moonstone. It's quite an unusual strand due to the shape, but it's also lovely because of the colour play we have. Now, the rainbow moonstone itself is known because it has this beautiful rainbow of colour. If you just pay close attention to this one as I move it, can you see all of the mixtures of tones in here? This is rainbow moonstone. Now, we don't give it that name just to make it sound nice. It is actually something that we have to send to a laboratory to give it that name itself. It is 95 carats worth on here. I've not got as many left as I would like, so I'll just bring your price in on it. It's a low price today. It's a beautiful gemstone. £9.95 is the price on this for you today. They're great for wire wrap rings. Imagine these as little droppers. You could actually even do these as a T-bar ring, some of them. £9.95 on this strand for you today. It's got beautiful play of colour. £9.95 for you. I've got really special, beautiful strands now. If you do love moonstone and you are into the bezel look, then this is definitely going to be the one for you. It's a stunning strand. Prepare to be blown away. Wow. Isn't that spectacular? Your gemstone is apparent on each side, and then just around the outside it's 925 sterling silver bezeling. So you have the whammy initially catching your eye of the faceting, then you're drawn into this lunar-like shiller of the moonstone, and it is also peach moonstone, so really luxurious. It's actually almost got an adventurescence to it, but of course it's moonstone, so it's just got this shiller. And then your eyes are captivated by this 925 bezel effect around the edge of each. Now on my strand I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 on my strand. Of course you will be getting, what is my carat weight on this? I'll find out the carat weight for you. 65 carats worth of the moonstone you have on here. Genuinely, the moonstone colour, when we're looking for moonstone, what we want is we want a similarity in tone, and you've got that in abundance on this strand. You really do. Now, my only issue is I'm low on stock in these. Very low. I'm in Last Chance Saloon almost with 33. Imagine these as just a ring. Cufflinks, done. Cufflinks done in moments. Just add a T-bar to the back of these with a bit of wire and you're sorted. Beautiful for wedding tones, mother of the bride perhaps. Earrings you could do with this. What about, if you're going seriously looks, getting yourself a few of these strands and having that perhaps as your spring summer accent that you have on every piece, just to build up your name. I've got around 9 on my piece. Let me bring in your price for everyone. £24.95. I know, it's an exceptional deal. There's nothing you really need to do with these, is there? Whack a shepherd's hook on, drop in a head pin, pair of earrings done, probably in, maximum minute and a half, 2 minutes. And what you're going to be charging those for? It's £9.95 of course, and it's beautiful moonstone. It's only £24.95, but I've only got 24 of these in stock right now. The moonstone honestly is one of the best examples of peach moonstone I've ever seen. Peach moonstone, sometimes you've got a bit of this milky-like appearance, haven't you? You haven't in these. You've got that shiller and that shimmer and that gleam by the bucket load in this one. It's serious. It's almost like a natural glitter effect you've got. It is natural. It's created by Mother Nature. We haven't attached anything to it. Now, what I will say is there is 22 in stock, but there is a queue on the phone. So as soon as we get through these, expect that number to drop dramatically. I've already seen a few of you have got these. Janet, Eliza, is it? Sandra, you've got yourself one as well. 20 left of these. Slight queue on the phone. You need to get yourself on there now. It could be your last chance to purchase this. I'm in my tweens now. £24.95. I've got 9. You'll probably get the same amount, to be honest. People who are online, check out your baskets. 925 sterling silver bezel set peach moonstone, faceted cushions, 15 by 11 mil. Just a tiny £24.95 for you today. 19 left in stock. Pat's just got one, Anne's just got one. There is a queue on the phone for it, but we will be with you in a moment. Say this to me. Now, It's wonderful that I've got for you a strand of your multicoloured beryl. Now, it's known as kind of the family of, the mother of all gemstone families, isn't it? You've got in here morganite, aquamarine, emerald, heliodor. Have I got any? Yeah, some goshenite as well in here. It's beautiful to be able to have all of these together in one place. And do you know what I don't think I've seen? Goshenite on a strand by itself. So it's beautiful that you can get it in this multi-strand. Now, these ones are classed as irregular shapes, but I think it's safe to say that although they are irregular, they're still beautiful. They're not nuggets, they're not irregular in that sense. You'll be able to see, can you see this one? There they are. I would describe them as a twisted, they're a square essentially. Each one of them is a square, but it is twisted all the way up and around, and they are four-sided. Every one of these is four-sided as well, quite similar actually in shape and size. It is a really high-end gemstone family. To be able to get yourself a mixture of these in here is going to be wonderful. And because you've got all those different pops of tones in there, again, seriously, Spring, if you got your hand on that alternate colourway that I brought to you earlier with those pink marquees and that beautiful peridot, this is going to work perfectly, isn't it? Let me bring your price in on the 16cm strand. £19.95. Have you noticed what's missing from this strand? Spacers. There is no need for spacers on this. These are seriously squeezed on. You are getting whopping bang for your buck on this piece, aren't you? A real mass amount on here. Just simple drops with these. You don't need to do much. What about a cascade waterfall effect on the neckline for these? Just £19.95 to be able to own this beautiful gemstone strand. It's lovely that you're able to work with such a mix, and it's also beautiful that you could actually, because some of these are so similar in shape, you could offer someone an alternate colourway while still working with the same gemstone family. So you could even keep your price point the same on each of the individuals if you wished, but one could be an aquamarine, one could be a morganite, same look, same pieces, just totally different gemstones from the same family. £19.95. It's a really, really gem heavy strand, and it's less than £20 for you today. VWRU03. £19.95. This one is going to put a serious spring in your step. This is the type of thing that if this was in a sweet shop, you'd think, I am not going to give that to my kid because they are going to be hyperactive. 50 carats worth, take a look, you'll know exactly what I mean. Oh, that is serious hot pink. This is your colour-coated quartz, plain rounds. These are 5mm. This is almost fluorescent, isn't it? It's seriously bright. I can definitely see people at a festival in a field strewn in these. I can definitely see people relaxing by the beach in their large floppy hats in this beautiful piece too. And they're 18 centimetres. This strand, and they're 5mm rounds. If you want to add a pop of pink but keeping that beautiful clarity, then this is going to be the strand for you. Let's have a look at the price on this today. £4.45. Yes, please. Okay, a few of you are going to be getting 2 and 3 of these. It doesn't surprise me at all. And you know what? Oh, I wish I'd shown this to Ruby. She'd have loved it, wouldn't she? Oh my goodness. She'd have gone crazy for this. Imagine this just on a stretchy. Oh, wow. She'd have gone mad for it. £4.45. Genuine gemstone, a beautiful pink. Gorgeous clarity. $4.45. And for that price, it's great for kids as well, isn't it? Because it is quartz, so it's an 8 to 8.5 on the Mohs scale of hardness, which means that they don't have to worry about them scratching it or getting it mucky or messing it up, because it has got that strength to it. I've got to admit, I've got amethyst, which of course is a quartz, in my bag, which is a ring that I take off, put on, and I've put it in my bag. My bag's like Mary Poppins, it's such a mess, and I've got everything in there. I throw it in at the beginning of every show and I take it out. I've had it years and years doing that, not a scratch on it, because it's so much strength for 45, but I've only got 34 already. Massive amount of my stock is gone on this. Please check your baskets out on this, and yeah, some of you are multi-buying, I can see you all. Treat yourself, why not? £4.45 on that strand. How about getting your hands on one of the most statement strands I think I'm going to bring to you today? Take a little look. I feel like, I don't know, Cleopatra or someone. Just imagine that sapphire that we had on earlier on. Remember that sapphire for under £20, spaced in between these. 120 carats worth of your multicoloured fluorite. And take a look at some of the banding in this. I've just got to point this one out to you. Look at the banding in here. Wow. You've got purple, you've got pinks, you've got your greens, and then look in the one next to it, real yellows. These go up in size dramatically, don't they? All the way to 31 by 12 mil. That is a cracking drop on there, isn't it? You'd only need one of these as a statement pendant, and that would be it. And essentially you've got 5 pendants in this strand, 14 centimetres, 120 carats worth. Let's bring your price in, because it's a good one. £14.95 for what is essentially 5 pendants. You don't need to do anything extra to these. What about the technique that we were talking about earlier? Get your 0.4, strand it through the top and just twist the gemstone. Don't twist the wire, twist the gemstone itself, and it'll create almost a tunneling up effect, just resting against the gemstone, so it'll highlight the shape. And then create a bail at the top, strand it through, you're done. 5 individual pendants, how much would you be selling them for? I'll tell you what, if you're selling them for any less than £10 each, you'd be way off. Way money-making capabilities on that strand for you this afternoon. Last one of this section for you for our spring equinox. Quelle surprise, it's quite a surprise. 90 carats of this beautiful bi-coloured chrysoprase. Now, it's your irregular drops, and these ones are from 7 all the way to 9 mil. Let's bring your price in. It's a really low price. £9.95. It's a lengthy strand. We don't have chrysoprase on often enough, I don't think. So if it's something you haven't owned before, this is definitely your chance to do it. Beautiful chrysoprase for just £9.95 for you today. Now, get yourself on the phone for that, because it's flying out quickly. After this break, we're going to be having a little bit more designer inspiration, some great deals and some standout pieces. See you then.
When shopping with JewelleryMaker, you can add as many items to your order in one day and only pay one postage and packaging charge. We have 2 delivery options. Standard delivery at just £2.95 and you'll receive your parcel within 4 to 6 days. Or opt for our premium delivery at just £4.95 and you'll receive your parcel within 3 to 4 days. Happy shopping with JewelleryMaker.
There are 2 easy ways to purchase from JewelleryMaker. You can watch our show on Sky, Virgin, Freeview or FreeSat and call our free phone number where you'll be put through to our friendly help team who can place your order. Alternatively, you can go to our website and click the sign up button. Once you have filled in the required details, you can start shopping. You can watch the show by clicking the On Air Now button on the front page. You can also use our quick search tool and narrow down your results. Once you have found an item that you like, you simply click on the Buy Now button and the item will be added to your basket. Don't forget that you can add as many items to your basket per day for only 1 P&P. Enjoy shopping with JewelleryMaker. Tune in to JewelleryMaker from Friday the 7th of March for the return of The Late Show. Watch 4 hours of jam-packed fun and great offers with your presenters Ed and Ali. Make sure you take advantage of the last Miss It Miss Out shows this week and grab yourself all the last in stock items, because if you've missed them, then you will have missed out. The Late Show, only on JewelleryMaker.
Hello, welcome back to Designer Inspiration. Thank you for joining me. My name's Becky and in moments we're going to be popping over to the lovely Teresa. Teresa, describe to us what gave you inspiration for these pieces.
Came straight from the gemstones, actually the Morganite itself. It was just such a kind of natural piece. We just needed, you know, it needed something kind of flowing and natural to work with it. Yeah, and then the rest of it just kind of developed from there.
The rest of it came from the gemstones.
Yeah.
So what a better place to start than with the gemstones then, shall we? She mentioned the Morganite. Ruby adored it, and I'm sure you do too. Take a little look at this beautiful collection. Honestly, you have got some serious, beautiful, high-end pieces in this. Again, we've had kyanite on earlier, and now we've got in here not only a Morganite, but your tourmaline and your topaz. We are seriously high looks today, and don't forget diamond, girl best friends, coming up in a little bit as well. So, of your Morganite, these are your graduated rough nuggets. You've got 100 carats worth. These are graduated from 6x4 all the way to 12x10, 25 centimetre strand. It is one of the most popular and luxurious gemstones that is around at the moment. It's something that's really sort of come into the nation's consciousness in a sense. We all have those gemstones that we've known as children, things like your amethyst and your garnet, but Morganite is definitely coming more into the public eye, so it might be something that people are looking out for now, possibly more than they have done in past years. 20 carats of this beautiful pink tourmaline as well. It's almost got that pink spinel look to it, hasn't it? I cannot remember the last time we had pink spinel in, so possibly to get your hands on this as an alternative, because we all know how luxurious that gemstone strand is. You've got beautiful pink tourmaline, 18 centimetres, and finally you have your white topaz, 45 carats. Again, one of those ones that's in our consciousness, and another really high-end bundle. Together they work sublimely, don't they? You've got all the mixture of the pops in there, but also textures. You've got that rough outer textured edge of the Morganite, the smooth and undulating rondelles of that beautiful tourmaline, and then you have those plain rounds, that softness of the gorgeous white topaz on that 22 centimetre strand as well. So, it's a high-end bundle, we know that already. Some of the big names are being thrown around in this bundle. It is your Morganite collection. This is the price that it would be if you went onto our website right now. £28.35, which actually a great price for genuine topaz Morganite as well in there. £28.35 is great, but you know that this is designer inspiration, and we're going to bring you an exceptional deal so that you have the chance to create these looks at home for less. £19.95 for these 3 beautiful strands. It is called the Morganite collection, and we have got 100 carats worth of that, but they are not at all to be overshadowed. The beautiful 20 carats of your tourmaline and this white topaz as well in there for just £19.95. You're saving yourself a hefty amount on this, almost a £10 saving you've got on this bundle. JVGC73. Now we've done it again. What we've done for you is I've separated the gemstones from the wire, which means that if you do want to get your hands on the wire, that is coming up for you later on. But if you have plenty of wire at home already, you can create these looks just by purchasing these stunning gemstones from us today. Almost £10 saving on this, £19.95 for these 3 exceptional strands for you today. The wire is coming up in a moment. Do you want to do the wire now? Yep, so those gemstones are going to come to the bottom of your screen, but it'll bring you the wire as well now, so you can just have it all out together. At the bottom of your screen in a moment will come the gemstones, but right now here is your Antiques Bronze Tone wire. Now, please don't be put off by the different reels. This is 10 meters of your 1 mil, and there's also 10 meters of your 0.4, 10 meters of each, just slightly different reels. That's the only difference. Both in your Antiques Bronze, and you have a whopping 100 meters of your 0.8. We've used quite a bit of the 0.8 on this design, but I've got to admit, it's one of those mid-range wires, isn't it? I think some people can be a little bit confused as to what to do with it. Do not worry. Your worries will be dispelled in moments. Designer inspiration, 10 meters of your 1 mil, 10 meters of your 0.4, and 100 of your 0.8. Let's whack your price in. Should be £33.35, of course, because in total you've got 120 meters of wire. But it's designer inspiration, we're going to do you a great deal. We want you all to be able to own this at home, and I've got to admit, these pieces we've used are quite wire heavy, but not in the sense you might presume. Not in the way you might imagine. Your price is not 33, it's just £24.65. That is literally every single penny we can take off. That's why you've got the random 65 at the end, because it's every single penny that we can squeeze off on this today for 120 meters of your wire and 10 meters of your 0.4. It's back in stock, it's come back. If perhaps you've had the 0.4, you've seen it before, but it's been with loads of gemstones, and you think, actually, I don't need the gemstones, I won't purchase it. Wire, if you are a wire worker, they really are the big gauges that you need, aren't they? £24.65. Every single penny we can squeeze off, and at the bottom of your screen right now for £19.95 are these beautiful gemstones, the tourmaline, the topaz, and the Morganite for you. At the bottom of your screen, reduced price, just £19.95 for you today. So let's go and have a little look at the beautiful designs that Teresa has created for us. And I think you'll see what I mean instantly when I said that the wire working might not be in the same way that you're used to. You've got a bit more of a chain feel, haven't you, with the wire? You've created your own links and your own chains.
Yeah.
What made you fancy doing that?
Well, I thought, I suppose with both of the projects kind of together, I thought, no, I'll go with findings for one, I'll make my own findings for the other.
Okay.
So that's why I asked for the 0.8 wire particularly, so that I could do all of the findings. Although I hadn't actually, when I thought of that, I hadn't actually intended on doing a pendant, which obviously then needs an entire chain. So it's not actually difficult to do, it just takes a little bit of time, that's all.
But I think you'll agree with me, it is most certainly worth it. Take a look at these stunning pieces. 5 pieces we've created in total. Isn't it beautiful? It's so pretty. Yes, okay, slightly blurry, but it's only because of where I've positioned it. How more beautiful is this? It's almost got a butterfly feel to it.
Yeah,
Butterfly, springtime garden, blooms, vines.
Yeah, as I say, I kind of started with the morganite, and I thought because it was kind of irregular nuggets like that, the rough nuggets, to try to kind of put them into a regular sort of a pattern would probably do them a bit of a disservice. So I wanted it to be a little bit more natural, a little bit more free-flowing. But I actually started with the swirls and then started kind of putting it together. So I really didn't know how it was going to sort of end up looking until it did, really. So, and I'm sure actually there's plenty of other kind of shapes you can make from the basic swirl shape as well.
It's most certainly ended up looking beautiful. I'm sure you agree with me at home. Do not forget, you can get in touch with us, let us know what you think of these things, either on jewellerymaker.com, box that says send a message to the studio. Alternatively, you can text us 60777, start your text with JM Studio if you have any questions to do with these beautiful selection of pieces, or anything else for that matter. Now, I know it's a tricky question, I know it is. How much? I know you don't like when I ask. How much would you sell this for?
I mean, well, I try to keep my pieces, necklace kind of pieces, within kind of the £20-30 range, but I think I would struggle with that one because of the gemstones being so lovely. I think it would have to be a £35 necklace.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Easily a £35 necklace on this one, definitely. And essentially, it hasn't cost anywhere near that to make, has it? Because all the gemstones are £20, and then obviously you've used a little bit of wire. You've created a collection that just works beautifully together. I could definitely see this in a boutique, couldn't I? I definitely could. So, whereabouts on this stunning necklace are we going to start?
We'll start with the swirl because that's where I started from, and then essentially the piece in the middle is a similar sort of a technique. So I can kind of start that one, and you'll see where that sort of goes to. It's only kind of making the circle that really is any different. So I started off. I have made swirls of a similar sort of shape, I suppose, before now, but I wanted these to be slightly smaller. I think last time I did a pendant, so it could be a larger swirl in itself.
Okay.
And because I wanted them all at the same size, I did do a bit of measuring as well. So it actually starts off with an 8cm piece of wire, which sounds ridiculously precise, but at least then you know that they're all going to be
the same.
Similar.
Yeah.
Although strangely with these swirls, although you're doing exactly the same thing time after time, they all seem to come out slightly differently. So if you are making it, I suggest you do them all at the same time and just keep kind of matching them up against each other. It is just, I think, the curves, how curvy you make it.
I see, yeah.
But one did seem to end up an awful lot longer than the other, and it's like, that is not physically possible. It's very strange. Just a bit of tweaking, it was fine. So yeah. So we've got our 8cm piece of wire.
And that's the
0.8.
The 1 mil, sorry, yeah.
That's the 1 mil wire. Because I'm hammering this, I tend to use the 1 mil for the framing. So going to start at the swirliest bit of the swirl, and I tend to use my little pliers just because they've got really, really little ends.
Round noses,
yeah. You could use the standard ones. It's not. It won't make an awful lot of difference. I just like to be really kind of small. So just kind of turning that end around, right back on itself. Just put your pliers back in again to make sure it's actually sort of right the way round, and then continue that to make the swirl going round. And this is the bit where it is a little bit of a judgment call, because you need to just kind of decide how tight you want that swirl to be.
Yeah.
You can do a bit of adjustment later on anyway. Obviously, having said all of them are the same, they never will be, because all of the gemstones are different sizes.
Yeah.
So once you get to that point, it'll be just kind of fitting them in anyway.
Okay.
But that's after it's hammered, and you can still move it when it's hammered, it's fine. So I've got it kind of more or less where I want it to be. Eventually the gemstone will be somewhere between where that sort of swirl begins and ends and this frame. So that's the sort of sizing you're kind of looking for, is just sort of that bit. And then we'll go to the other end of the swirl. As that's sort of going upwards, this bit of swirl will be going downwards, so it's the opposite direction. Take the pliers in again, round, not tiny little sort of loop again, and then again carry that on round, but make it quite small, and just keep going until that hits the frame again, and that's kind of the top piece of that.
Yeah, I see.
And that's where the link's going to be made, sort of through the larger bit of that loop. And I think this is where you have to kind of start sort of fiddling with the swirl. At the moment, you'll see the top bit of this is actually quite straight.
Yeah.
So you can just do a little bit of tweaking with that. Just bend it around a little bit. And make it a little bit more swirly, I suppose.
I see.
And that's where your shaping sort of comes in. Have a bit of a play, see which shape you like the best.
Mm-hmm.
And then that is actually just the basic shape done. Probably would make that a little bit more rounded at the bottom there. There we go. So that's the basic sort of shape of them. So you're ready to hammer once you've kind of got, that was a 6 on there, 6 of them, ready to hammer then.
Okay.
So I then trot along to my block. And what I've got on the necklace is actually sort of 3 going one way and 3 going the other. I knew I wanted that. I wasn't entirely sure which way they might go.
Yeah.
But I knew I wanted them broadly one way or the other. What I tend to do is hammer on the back, because that's the only reason that's important. I just made sure that 3 were facing one way and 3 were facing the other way, before I started hammering. And actually I'm going to turn it over because I'm going to do it that way around. I think, yes, I should do it that way around. And then all we need to do is give it a little bit of a hammer, as much as you want actually. But it's the 1 mil, so it'll take a fair bit of hammering. You don't need to hammer it a lot to get the rigidity, but you might want it a bit flatter just for design purposes.
Okay.
So just go around, give it a bit of a tap as to how you want it. That's still a little bit round.
So as we're hammering away, I will give you the chance to own the hammer in the block. You've got the block which you can see here. This is a really hefty size, and it's still included in your postage and packaging, even though it cost Gemma Quo £6.50 to post the other day. You've got the block, you've also got the hammer which we've just seen the lovely Teresa using. You have got the flat end, which is what we were just using then. Initially it will work harden, just changing the composition of the wire, but then as you said, if you continue, it does give this beautiful design flattened feature. You've also got in this the ring mandrel as well. So the ring mandrel itself comes in its own little carry case, and it actually is metal too, which means that yes, you can hammer onto it. So in fact, if you wanted to create really big swirls, you could use the end of this, couldn't you?
Yes, you could. That might be a bit of a spoiler for the round piece of the necklace.
Oh, sorry, plot spoiler alert. So we will be using this later on. I think that's become clear. Let's take a look at the price that this is normally. £23.85 to get them all separately. XBGC70, that is your discount code to get it today for just £15 exactly. So if you think about it, £5 each essentially, isn't it, for each of these goodies? £5 for the hammer, £5 for the ring mandrel, £5 for the block. £15 is your price on these 3 goodies today. And do not for a second just think this is for measuring your rings. It's not at all. You can use it for so much more. 3 of them today, £15. We'll have a look at how to use the ring mandrel in a little bit as well, shall we? Beautiful.
Okay, so we've now got our flattened piece, and as I said, that's the back. I still haven't, I'm sure there's some natty way of not getting marks in it, but I always seem to manage to get marks when I'm hammering, doesn't matter what I do.
Yeah.
Which is why I hammer on the back, and then the front is awful lot smoother. So that's our swirl. And then in order to get the piece of morganite in there. What we actually need to do is flip a bit of it up, so it's no longer in 2D, we're working into 3D. So what we kind of need to do, essentially it's that little loop in the middle that we're needing to flip up.
Okay, so the little one I see.
But
The little
there's
one at the
no way
bottom.
of getting at it without hitting the other frame. So what we need to do, just gently pull that upwards a little bit, just so you can get at it. And then we can go in with the pliers there and just bend that upwards. So we've got the little loop
I
there.
can see, yeah.
And then we can push that back down again, so we're back where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Then what we're actually needing to do is decide on where we're putting the morganite, how that kind of fits in. And I might swap around to one I made earlier just because I know it's in a bit better. So essentially exactly the same that I've been doing at the moment. This is the piece of morganite I'm going to use.
Yeah.
And then all you're doing is sort of trying to work out, okay, do I want it that way in there? Do I want it the other way? Do I want it with the point over that side? How best do I think it looks in order to
So what are you
look the
looking for?
best,
Are you looking
basically.
for it to sit proudly or to
yeah,
aim in the
I
same
think
direction?
it's just
or?
getting to the point where I like the way it sits, I suppose.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to do, obviously, if I pop a bit of wire through it, it will be going through shortly, so you can see where the drill hole is. Obviously, what you're trying to do is get that plane to be going through that loop one side and then onto the frame the other.
I see.
So this one sort of fits probably best with that side of it being downwards, and then possibly kind of, oh, it's just flipped around, that way on in the swirl.
I see.
Sorry, where all my fingers are in the way. So that's where I'm going to have a bit of a go with it.
Okay.
The only reason I'm kind of doing that at this point is because obviously you've got a chance to adjust where that loop is. You can push that sort of twizzle it around a bit more. So I can't do it
Almost, yeah, I see.
Or you can actually kind of pull that swirl out a little bit or push it in a little bit, just so that it's sitting as flat as it can to the stone. And then if I just take that, well, hopefully I can remember which way it is. Take that off of there for now. Then just a little bit of the 0.4, probably don't need that much, but essentially I tend to use more than I need because I've used a lot of the 0.4 for links with the little topazes.
Yes, to weave them on.
Yeah, I'm going to use all the bits up anyway, so I don't tend to worry too much about it being too long. And I'm just going to thread that through that eye and then wrap it onto the bit of the swirl there. Again, sort of trying to hold it and wrap it and show it isn't the brilliant telly, but there we go. So we're just going to keep sort of threading that through, just 3 wraps just to make sure it's secure on there.
And this section's it's still going to be visible, so you want it to be quite neat, don't you?
Yes, yeah, I mean all of the wraps tend to be visible on this, so yeah, and what I do tend to do is leave the tail on there for now. If it does end up being a little bit looser than you think it should be, something, you know, as moved as you've been working with it, you can just kind of undo that little bit and tighten it up. Okay. So it's always worth leaving the ends on until you're just about to finish it. So then we're going to pop the gemstone back on again. Hope that it still sort of fits where I want it to fit, which is in there.
Yeah.
Just pull that out a little bit, I think, just to make sure it sort of sits in there a bit nicely. There is a little bit of a sort of a ridge there, so I'm going to pop it through there. Actually, it might work better the other way. Shall I try it the other way now? Now I've decided, I'll just redecide again. Redesigning it as we go.
You can just get it till it's right, can't you?
So that just
fits.
Yeah, that actually does just sit in there an awful lot better than it did. This is quite nice and flush, and we're obviously going to pull it to the frame as we wrap that side anyway.
Yeah.
So just hold it in place, and then another 3 wraps around the frame. Try to keep that as tight as possible. 3. I tend to go in 3s just because it's a nice sort of number to go with.
Yeah.
So then that's actually on, nice and tight. It will move about a little bit. You possibly could keep, you know, playing with it so it is totally tight on there. But you'll find as you're wrapping up with the tourmalines that will tighten it up again as well anyway. And actually I don't mind if there's a little bit of movement in there.
No.
It's not going anywhere, it's not insecure. It's just a little bit of movement in the necklace.
I have had a question in about the wire which is at the bottom, the 2465, just to reiterate exactly what it is. Not a problem, we can do that for you. 100 metres of your 0.8 antiques bronze, 10 metres of your 1mm antiques bronze, 10 metres of your 0.4 antiques bronze, discounted for you today. 120 metres in total, it's just £24 and 65 pence for you. Should have been, well, it's over tenner off, isn't it? About £10 off. 24.65. Every penny we could squeeze off that we have done for you today, so treat yourself to it whilst you can.
So, on to the tourmalines now.
Did you love them?
I don't know why, I just seem to have a bit of an affinity for tourmalines.
Do you?
Yeah,
Do they talk to you?
Yeah, I just love them. And I mean, before a month or so ago, I've tended to see all of the kind of multicolour tourmaline, which I love.
Yes.
And it's only recently that I've seen the pink tourmaline just kind of on its own. And I thought, well, maybe I won't love it as much because it's not, you know, got all the different colours in there. I think I love it more. I think it's just gorgeous.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
And it has almost got that pink spinel tone about it, hasn't it? Which is so luxurious. It's one of the most adored gemstones, and it has got a similar appearance, hasn't it? It's beautiful.
Yeah. The strand is graduated in colour.
Mm-hmm.
So you can choose to mix them up. What I tried to do was graduate it a little bit, so it is darker in the middle and then lighter going up the sides.
Okay.
And that really is just a case of, you know, cutting the strand in the right places and just figuring out what you want. The bracelet is also graduated as well in the colours. I just wanted a little bit more. It's graduated for you, you might as well use it. If you've got to sit there kind of graduating it yourself, it can be a little bit testing, but it's there already, you might as well go with it. So all I've done is take some off of the strand just for ease, and I'm going to use 5 for this particular thing, so I'll just pop them on there so I'm not fiddling about them anymore. Actually, I can't take them off the strand.
So there's 5 of the gemstones themselves that you're taking off at this moment.
Yeah. I just had a bit of a play with the colours beforehand, which is why they're on a temporary little bit of wire. But yeah, you can take them straight off the strand and start using them. Some of them, because they are tiny, won't go on the 0.4.
Yeah.
Save them, get a bit of 0.25 for that sort of stuff. There's enough on there to go on the 0.4 to be able to do this design and I mean everything that I've done. So all we're needing to do then is pick up one of those from where you were wrapping before. Just move that out of the way. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it over just because I'm using my left hand. I am a bit naughty, I know, with using my nails for stuff. I'm sure you could get the pliers in there and just kind of bend it with your pliers. My nails grow quite quickly, so I just tend to go with it, create ridges and then cut them off, I'm afraid. Sorry, I just do. So all I'm doing with my nail, is making a little bend in the wire there. I think it's probably more the wire work. I don't think it's these little bends that are doing it. I think it's the amount of wrapping and stuff that I probably do.
Yeah.
And that just means that when that sits down on there, it's sitting a little bit squarer. If you didn't do that, it'd actually be quite sort of slanting on there.
Okay. Yeah.
So that just sits quite square. The wire is carrying on with the wrap that it was going, so it's come from the front, it's going backwards, and then just hold that in place so it isn't sort of pulling it around, and do 3 more wraps on the frame. So we've got it now sitting in place.
Yep.
And then all we're doing is exactly the same thing with all
As you
the
stay at the top.
4.
Yep.
So we just carry on doing that with them all. Just checking what I've got in terms of staging. I haven't used hardly any of my staging.
I have got for you an alternate colourway coming in a moment or two, and as we did earlier on, lower price point on the alternate colourway. Oh, do you want to do it now? Okie pokey, we'll do it now for you. This is an alternate colourway on this. Look at this strand.
I didn't get the labradorite.
Wowzers. Wowzers. This is some serious quality labradorite. You can see the quality of labradorite for a number of reasons, and one of the main ones is the amount of schiller and labrador essence you can see, and I think you'll agree with me at home, this has it in abundance. 105 carats worth of these graduated plain rondelles, graduated from 4x3 all the way to 7x3 mil on this 30 centimetre strand. Beautiful. Also got blue chalcedony. So this is moonstone. No way. Wowzers. Oh, look at the beautiful tones you've got running through here. This is a really special strand, isn't it? And the blue chalcedony, sorry for leaving you out, blue chalcedony, you are beautiful, but you know what I'm like, magpie. 180 carats worth of the rainbow moonstone in the faceted nuggets. They're from 9x4 all the way to 7x8, 22 centimetre strand, and 90 carats of the blue chalcedony in the plain round 6 mil on there. It's beautiful. I always think to work with labradorite and moonstone in the same pieces, because of the effects they both bring to you. This beautiful play of colour. And they actually, in a sense, they're from the same family. There's literally only slight percentages between the two of them to make them different gemstones. But they have the same structure, these parallel fibrous lines running through them, which means that when the light enters both of these gemstones, as opposed to hitting back out to your eye line, actually just skims the light across the surface, which is why you get this beautiful shill on both of those strands. And 90 carats of your blue chalcedony. Now, the reason these are similar to the other ones is, of course, we've got a set of plain rounds like we did on this one. You've got a set of irregular shapes like we did on the morganite nuggets, and you've also got similar sizings on some of the larger pieces. These would create more dramatic pieces. That is standard because of the statement. We're going to give you a real low price on this today. Should be £28.85. But how do you feel about taking a tenner off? £10 exactly. £18.85 for this alternate colourway if you want to create this look, but perhaps you're going for a little bit more of a statement size and slightly more neutral tones in a sense, and a lower cost, then this is going to be the one for you to get your hands on. £18.85. This is going to give your look more, it's going to be more dramatic, but also slightly more cooling in a sense, isn't it? Yeah. If you work with those colourways. That's yours today, £18.85. Get your hands on it whilst you can. Back to you, Teresa.
Right, I've wrapped them all on. Now what I did in the necklace, I won't do it because I've actually wrapped them really tightly, just kind of rushing to get them done. Leave a little bit looser. I haven't got my tweezers with me. I tend to use the tweezers rather than the pliers. But at the moment they're just sort of slightly sort of askew, I suppose. They're kind of layering up on top of one another. You might like it like that. If you want them squarer on, what you can do with the tweezers, as I say, go in very gently and just twist them back so they're square. So I'm not going to do it because I think with pliers and because I've wrapped it quite tightly, I think there's a chance of breaking gemstones, which I'd hate to do. So I think it looks quite nice like that, but it just depends if you want them exactly kind of square on or just a little bit on an angle. Another design decision really.
Yeah.
Another 3 wraps after you've finished it, so same old 3 wraps. And then all you're doing is just kind of chopping off as close as you can to the frame on the back, and this one's a little bit sort of around, so sort that out in a minute, possibly again with my nail. And then in order to keep all of that exactly where you want it, just go around on all of the wraps you can get to really. Some of these you might have difficulty with, so don't worry about them, and just gently squidge them down to the frame, and then you can go around on this side with that one, and that just finishes that piece then, that swirl.
So 6 of those in total, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you want to create with that look.
Yeah. And then once I'd got those, I just kind of laid them down, tried to work out, did I want them to be sitting that way or sort of starting from that sort of direction. I knew I wanted them alternate, but exactly where did they best sit?
Yeah.
Depends on the shapes and the sizes of the stones as to whether they match together, and you just kind of have a bit of a play with them to see where they're kind of sitting. I did play with the idea of having another swirl in the middle and didn't like that quite so much for the design I wanted.
Okay.
So eventually came up with, okay, I'm just going to do, well, it's essentially a sort of upside down horseshoe shape. It does end up being a circle, but only because of the stone in the middle.
Okay.
I don't think I've got a stone actually sitting there.
So is this the one that we created with the mandrel?
It is indeed.
I knew it. I knew it. We have still got some of the mandrel offer left if you want to call call centre. It was the ring mandrel with the hammer and the block. We still had some of those. That's coming in at the bottom of the screen for you in a moment. So we used the ring mandrel to create this shape, which is lovely because I feel like I'm forever saying you can do so much more with a ring mandrel than you think, and you can create beautiful shapes with it too, can't you?
Well, I mean, I have to admit, I'd had sort of gotten to that, okay, well, I could put a circle there, that might work in terms of the design, but I knew I wanted it bigger than the bail making pliers could make.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, how on earth am I going to get a perfect circle that is going to fit in and doesn't look a little bit kind of askew and wrong and not quite sort of true, and then thought, idiot, got
trusty ring mandrel.
Yeah,
of course,
staring me in the face really. So all you need is a little bit of wire. Unusually, I didn't measure this.
No. Stop.
Because I don't need to.
That's good.
So bit of wire, ring mandrel, and I went for no particular reason for an eye.
Okay.
Size eye. Make it larger, make it smaller, as you see fit. And I just went from the edge, from the end of the wire, and just took it right the way around, and a little bit more. You see, I've still actually got more wire than I need there. So then we've got a perfect circle. I would probably check it, find I haven't quite pulled it tight enough. I might leave a little bit more on the end on that wire, and then I could actually pull them both tight so I know that it's a circle.
Yeah.
And then chopping one bit back to around about where the circle is. Oh, I'm not chopping very well apparently. There we go. Pay attention to what I'm doing, and then went in and just made a little loop going inwards with my round nose pliers.
Okay. So you're spiralling in towards it, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean it's best to go that way just because then you're not pulling the wire out of shape again.
Yeah.
But it should be fine. Okay. And what I found, bizarrely, no particular reason for this, maybe just where I kind of put my pliers in, is if I then chopped the other end off where that loop meets the wire again, it seems to be around about the right size for what I wanted.
Okay.
So I'm going to chop it there.
Just where that little
I'll show you where I chopped it before I I can go, yeah,
That's it,
so it's
yeah,
that
I
bit
see.
right there.
Fab.
And then make the other loop going inwards again, exactly the same
So
way.
it should be the equal way. I want to let you know I've got a handful or two left of the bundle that's on your screen at the moment, the 1885 VKGC28. It's all these beautiful gemstones you've got to give you a really chunky, cooling look, but still really beautiful and dramatic as well. It's just 1885. I've got a few left of those, but do get yourself on phone lines now for those.
So that's what we've made, and I'm kind of wondering if I was just sort of, you know, thinking about the earring finding.
Yes.
Anyway, and actually maybe you could use one of those in a similar manner to this. So got the 2 loops there, then going to hammer it flat again, which I won't do just for, well, actually have I got time? Just get my hammer.
You've got about 18 minutes.
Oh, loads of
time.
Feel like I'm rushing through stuff all of a sudden.
Relax.
Just take my time.
Take your time, Teresa. So you're using the flattened edge again, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, you could put a bit of texture into this if you wanted to. And for some obscure reason, just because we're in the studio and it didn't do it before, it's managed to hammer it unflat rather than hammering it flat. Kind of interesting.
Well, yeah,
there we
why
go.
not?
It's my brand new hammer that doesn't flatten things anymore.
It's because, do you know what I think it is? The temperature's changed in here from our earlier on. We've just put the aircon on, so that could possibly be it. The block and the hammers at the bottom of the screen with the ring mandrel as well, £15, £5 each for those goodies.
So again, turned it over after hammering it flat, and again, those 2 loops just want to turn through 90 degrees so they're standing upwards.
Okay, as we did earlier with yes.
Or down in order to actually use the same what's it. And you might find then they'd look a bit kind of odd, and they might be a bit further out than you need or a bit closer together than you need, and then you can be moving it around or twisting them slightly in order to fit the gemstone. This is a gemstone I haven't fitted earlier, so it's going to fit in there somehow like that. Actually, it's working quite well.
Yeah.
I might just pull this one a little bit further that way, just to kind of meet the shape of it. It's maybe not quite that far. The wire's getting quite warm now, I think. And then once you've kind of got that sort of somewhere close to, you're ready to kind of wire on again. This time, obviously, you haven't got the end where it was before. So what you're wanting to do, or what I did, just to make it as easy as possible really, is to take the loop first, go through one of those little loops, and wire over, because otherwise you're going to be going through where the end of the wire is, basically.
Yeah.
But what you're wanting to do is actually have a reasonable amount out that side, because you're then going to wrap the other tourmalines on there.
I see.
So again, sort of 3 wraps around that frame, which is going to start toying with me, just because my hands are getting warm now, I think, really. And then we can pop that back on, which is now changed size, changed end, I think, so probably won't fit anymore. Move round on me. And then through that loop again. You might find it sort of twisting and being a little bit naughty, so just be careful when you're pulling that through to make sure that the wire doesn't kink on you. You might be able to just kind of pull them out a little bit further. Try not to kind of change the shape on it, but just keep kind of pulling that wire until you've got the gemstone inside those 2 bits. And then, as you can see, at the moment that's where it's wanting to sort of sit naturally, but as I pull, it will actually close up that gap. So all you're needing to do then, the other side, is make sure you're pulling the wire tight so that those loops are tight too when you wrap the other side around, and once you've done a couple of wraps, it'll hold.
It sort of holds it anchors itself on, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you're going around the outside again, so you're not in danger of kind of heading through the loop and undoing it. So you've got another three wraps that side.
Yep.
And then obviously all you need to do is put the tourmalines on again, and there's 3 on the edge of each of that one.
So again, you do 3 loops, add a tourmaline, 3 loops, add a tourmaline, 3 loops, add a tourmaline, and finish it off with 3 loops, and that's the same on each side.
Yep.
Beautiful.
And then in order to put it all together, I just made some jump rings with the 0.8 wire.
The 0.8 wire. We'll talk about how we added the jump rings on, and also these beautiful little wrapped, almost sort of spacer chain links, aren't they? And what I'm going to do for you now is give you the opportunity, just before we get into all of that, to get your hands on a Becky's Bonkers Bargain. I've got a beautiful pair of these, to me just scream earrings, bracelets, drops, because they're both beautifully centre drilled green coloured quartz in the plain drops, 38 centimetre strand on this. Now have a look at that screen. This green looks a bit more powerful to my eye. What do you think?
Yeah, it's actually it's not a bluey green, it is green, but it's just got that slight kind of aqua shading to it.
Yeah, it does. I think you're right. Almost a forestry green, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, you can see it on this side perfectly. You've also got in here the lovely heart shape black agate. Now I know you adore hearts out there, and I do as well. They are 6mm on these, 50 carats worth on this strand. They're both drops, and they're both brand spanking new to the show. That's why I thought, whack them in a bundle together. Why not? Because if you're a bit sneaky, you get 2 new strands. If you bundle them together for the first time, you can put them at a ridiculously low price. So that's what we've done. Your price for these 2 brand new, never seen before beautiful strands today is naughty. It's just £9. And lengthy strands as well. I know that this one's 38 centimetres, and how long's that one? Looks like 38 again. Cracking length on these beautiful black agate hearts, which are 6mm, and these wonderful green quartz that are 5x3mm, and they are a very clear heart shape. I know sometimes we bring your hearts and there's just a very slight, almost flattened top, but I think you'll agree these ones are definitely very heart shaped with the drop, the cleavage in the centre of each of these. Beautiful. 2 brand new strands for you today. Brand new price, just £9 for you. Treat yourself whilst you can.
I don't think I've seen drops that small before.
I know,
actually.
aren't they lovely as well?
Yeah.
How pretty to have those. And I thought as well, because of the green ones, because they taper off slightly, if you just had those hinting into the cleavage of the hearts, just as a drop pair of earrings.
Yeah, be lovely.
Done quickly.
Yeah.
Selling for a couple of quid a pair.
Yeah, green and black, just gorgeous together.
You're so right.
Gold findings look perfect.
I'm all over it. £9 for you on those today. Brand new strands for you. So we've learned how to do the S shapes and attach the tourmaline. We've learned how to do the circular centre section. We're going to talk through now how to pop it all together and create the final little sections, aren't we?
Yes, yeah. I mean, in terms of the spacing, that's where all the topaz, wasn't it? Topaz. That's right. I didn't know what it was, and it's like, well, it's clear something. White something, but and I haven't had topaz before. It's like I should have known, because I know it's always kind of talked about how refractive it is, but they really do just gleam. Actually, sparkle. It's amazing. They're not faceted, so I was kind of not expecting the light to kind of jump out at them in the way that they do, but it is. It really does, gorgeous.
Doesn't it? It's stunning.
So that is just wrap loops on there, with 0.4 going through it, and wrap loops.
Fab. We've got around 7 minutes. Yep. Maybe you could show us how to create one of those wrap loops. You've got plenty of gemstones left, haven't you?
I have, and I think actually I started at one end of this strand. There might be a couple kicking around somewhere before I put a knot in it. But you can see where the centre ones were that are graduated up, and that centre one's just absolutely gorgeous and kind of needs something doing on its own actually. But yeah, I didn't get a chance, I didn't get time to play with that. Obviously the ones kind of coming up to that are all similar sizes, not exactly the same, but similar sizes. So I just kind of started from one end and worked along. So if I just grab that bit of...
And this is with your 0.4, is it?
Yep, and you only need... This is where all the kind of little bits that you haven't used, that were kind of leftovers from what you've wrapped before, come in. So just a little bit. And what I'll do is I'll start first. I normally do put the flipping thing on and then it's sliding off as I'm trying to... do a loop. So my wrapped loops, I have tended to just sort of get to a point where I'll do it that way unless I'm doing something special. So I tend to take the pliers in. These ones are these are my round nose, so they're a little bit smaller. They're the ones you can buy separately. All it is it kind of the point is a bit smaller. So where I'm actually using, you could use your ordinary round nose, it'd just be a little bit further up the points. So just going to go in, leave a bit of a tail so you've got something to pull on. I'm going to leave a little bit more because my hands are getting warm. I might need that extra little bit to pull with. And then just take that wire round so it's crossing right the way over. And then again, naughty me, just kink that back again.
Your poor nail.
I know. I know. Obviously you can use the pliers. I tend to leave the pliers in just because then I know the shape is still going to be true, not needing to worry about it. You could also take that out and then put your flat nose pliers on it. Probably get a truer one doing that because this does sort of twist it a little bit, but I quite like it like that. And then with the short bit of wire that's going round, I'll take it round half a go, so it's there. Take it around so it's the full lot, and then half again. And so unless I want a particularly long bit of wrap, that's all I tend to do. And then chop off that end because it's easier to do when the stone isn't around. Don't fling your wire around and on the floor and then you can't find it. And then
your topaz.
Hop on the little topaz. Figure out which your back was, which tends to be the one that I was wrapping last. So I do tend to have a front and a back. It shouldn't matter an awful lot, and they do twist around anyway, so it really doesn't matter. I'm just pedantic, I think. And then again, take your round nose pliers back in again, and wrap again. It doesn't really matter where you start. I do tend to kind of wrap it downwards, realise I haven't got enough, and then pull this round anyway, and just get that so it's quite close, not absolutely touching but quite close to the stone. Kink it back again so you've got a tiny little space for your wraps to go. Again, if you're wrapping more you'd need the length, but because you've done one already you'll know more or less how long you need to leave it, basically, for them both to be the same. And again, half turn, a full turn round, and then half again, and that is the full wrapped stone. And then chop that bit off, which obviously is a bit more difficult because the stone's in the way now. You might need to just pull it out a little bit
to give you room,
just to give you room to nick it off. It's all right, these are a bit blunt at the ends. I think probably me cutting too many things with right at the end. If you have pulled it out a little bit, you take either your round nose or your flat nose pliers in and just push it back in again. Because it's already gone round once, it's kind of got the memory for that, so it will go round again.
Cool.
And then that's the final kind of piece.
And that's your final piece. And in this one, we've created 2, 4, 6, 7 on each side by the looks of things.
Yes, something like that. Yes.
Yes, counted.
Well, I
You've
knew I
done
wanted
some
one in the
here.
middle. Yeah. And because I have done all of the units separately and then just put them on with jump rings, and then at the back they're little S shapes.
So they do all go around the back as well, just interlinked with the beautiful S shapes that we've created here too. So 7 on each side, and then you've actually done the same clasp sort of shape at the back, which is lovely.
Yeah, because I had this kind of, I'm going to do my own findings, then I was kind of like, okay, I've got 3 clasps overall, all the pieces. I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different for each one.
Yeah.
I thought, well, that one actually, it was an obvious one to do the same swirl as was in the rest of the piece, just to match it in.
That's beautiful. And let's take a look at absolutely everything else. Did we have a look at that bracelet before? Because that bracelet, I'm not sure that we did, but I think it's really stand out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that pretty?
It is. Well, it's a bell making pliers, a sort of U shape. I think it's about 3 centimetres of wire.
Yeah.
Each piece. Just take it round the largest bit of the bell makers, and then 2 little loops on the ends of them afterwards. And then once you've got that, it's wrapped with the tourmalines again, and it's entirely up to you then to play with how you want to kind of put them together.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of playing with that shape, obviously, because jump rings are standard. We tend to use jump rings and play with jump rings and chainmail and all of that kind of stuff with the rounds.
Yeah.
And this is just a bit of a new shape. I just keep kind of playing with at the moment, just to see what we might be able to do with it, I suppose.
And it is beautiful play that you have had with these. Teresa, thank you so much for showing us this. We are going to be heading back over to Teresa in a moment. However, I have got something so special to show you that you have got some serious treat for you. We're going to squeeze it in now to give you a chance to own one of me bonkers bargains. It is not what's on screen, but it is coming up in a minute. Take a look at this lapis lazuli for me. Now, what do you think of this strand, Teresa?
Well, I'm thinking I haven't seen the squares in for a while.
No, so true.
I did manage to get my hands at quite a while back now, actually, on the labradorite in that shape, and I do absolutely love it. I think it's initially a difficult one to think about because they're quite sort of flat and thin. You could use them in the same way as you'd use rondelles. But I really like, because it's graduated, taking the graduated ones and having kind of like 5 on a head pin, so it's actually stacking it up.
Yes, I love that in the sizes. It gives you a really gorgeous look, doesn't it? This is your lapis lazuli strand, and on this you've got 90 carats worth. And I'm also giving you, in my bonkers bargain, a beautiful pyrite strand. It's just highlighting the pyrite that's running through the lapis lazuli naturally. Whopping 250 carats on here, and those are 8 mil. Let me get your pricing, because it's a Becky's bargain. 2 strands, your price today is just £11.95. You've got about 340 carats worth in this of your 2 stunning gemstones. Becky's bonkers bargain. Get your hands on it today for £11.95. Now, after the break, I've got something seriously special for you. It is our price avalanche. We start high and go low, and when I say low, I mean less than £3. See you after this.
Tune in to Jewellery Maker from Friday the 7th of March for the return of The Late Show. Watch 4 hours of jam-packed fun and great offers with your presenters Ed and Ali. Make sure you take advantage of the last Miss It Miss Out shows this week and grab yourself all the last in stock items, because if you've missed them, then you will have missed out. The Late Show, only on Jewellery Maker.
I think labradorite, when you think about it, is as beautiful as a diamond because it gives you, for me, more amazement than a diamond. You look at it and it does something really unexpected, like a lightning bolt.
Labradorite is one of those gemstones from Jewellery Maker that is always going to be a top seller. The labradorite that you get from Jewellery Maker has got extreme amounts of labradorescence. The colour saturation is just superb, and that's really indicative of the quality that we can get for you here at Jewellery Maker. It seems to reflect your moods as well. Whatever kind of mood you're in, whatever you put it with, it seems to bring out those gorgeous colours, so it really is a true chameleon gemstone.
You can now keep in touch by liking Jewellery Maker UK on Facebook. Get interactive with Jewellery Maker.
Add a mystery gift to your order today and you'll receive a surprise full of fantastic treats and goodies with a huge saving guaranteed. Check out our online reviews from Jewellery Maker customers who have previously purchased one of these mystery gifts. Go on, treat yourself with a little gift. Jewellery Maker have an extensive range of DVDs for all abilities. Each of our mediums has an introductory DVD to help you get started. If you're already an experienced jewellery maker, we have a collection of projects and more advanced DVDs to take your designs to the next level. We are always filming new DVDs with our specialist guest designers, so visit our website for more information.
Welcome back to Jewellery Maker. Thanks for joining me this afternoon. We're heading over to our guest designer shortly, the wonderful Teresa, to see how her challenge is going. How is it going? Be honest.
Well, okay, I'm still on the necklace, the first necklace.
That's all right.
But it's nice.
You've got ages. You've got about 42 minutes all in all.
No problem.
Fine. Now, we are going into my price avalanche in a moment, but before that, we're going to give you a stonking deal on some DVDs. Don't forget, price avalanche. Girl's best friend. That's coming up for you in a minute. Let's kick yourself off with this, shall we? You're getting yourself a box, and you've got the DVDs inside. Now, 10 DVDs you're going to get in this storage box. It's a whacking size, isn't it? It's really useful to have. And you've got the 10 DVDs in here also. So, let's go through your DVDs, shall we? You have the beautiful metal clay with the wonderful Natalia. It's really easy, simple, step by step. This is your starter DVD for that. You've also got your Adventures with Beading Thread with the wonderful Gemma Crow. It is a beautiful DVD which shows you how to create these lovely flowers, large bib pieces as well. You've also got your Resin Projects DVD on here. It's around 47 minutes long, this DVD. If you haven't tried resin before, and perhaps you just want some more ideas, then this could definitely be the one for you to get involved with. Your wire mesh you can create in here looks to replicate the award-winning Gemma Crow's bridal bouquet design with the wire mesh on this DVD. You also have your friendly plastic as well. If you are interested in friendly plastic, we have got the wonderful Liz Waltz joining us on Wednesday, I think, with the friendly plastic as well. You've also got your Wirework rings DVD, one of my favourites, of course. You just get shown how to do some really statement ring pieces and some that can take you just moments as well. Also, you have the wonderful Alison as our guest designer on our wire sculpture. In this one, you get shown how to create this box, which has also got a scrolling technique, which means that this is actually a trinket box that does open. The top of this box open and closes. You also get shown how to do a beautiful stocking and a bell in that one as well. You've got your Sculpey clay designs in here too, showing you how to create not only canes, but also quite nice geometric effects on this DVD. As well as that, you've got fabulous findings showing you how to create your own findings, your own links, your own chains. And finally, you have your chain mail. Do not forget, I am joined on Sunday with the wonderful Debbie Bulford for our third of the chain mail series. So 10 DVDs, we know the price of them, £4.95 each usually, and then we've got the box also. So if we were to buy all of these separately, the price we would be paying is £55.45 because the DVDs £4.95 each, and also we have the display box here for you too. However, we're going to do you a superb discount on this today. It's nowhere near £55.45. Honestly, it's going to be one of the biggest discounts you're going to get all day today. Your price is so low. It's not £56. It's less than 30, £29.95. If you take off the price of the box, you'll get in the DVDs for just £2.60 about each per DVD, and they're normally £4.95. Now, a lot of you may well have some of these DVDs and think, well, I won't get myself that because I've already got 4 of them. Don't worry, if you have already got 4, you're still making a saving. And also go on our JewelleryMaker Facebook page. People do swaps with DVDs on there all the time. Someone might say, oh, I've just got this DVD, you know, I've got 2 of these, can I swap it with someone else's? Do not worry, there is a way to swap yours for something that you have not yet had a look at. There's so many helpful tips on here, and I think we've got a few to show you now. This one's from your Friendly Plastic DVD, which, as I said, we've got coming up on Wednesday. Shows you how to use Friendly Plastic in the melting pot as well, but of course you can use a bain-marie for this too, so don't worry if you haven't got the melting pot, or the blowtorch you can use for this too. Beautiful mixed medium. And you've also got in the DVD collection this wire mesh, working with the beautiful Gemma Crow to create that lovely headband piece. And if you got that festival pack that we had earlier, well, then you have got some of the beautiful headbands in there to play with as well, haven't you? Just £2.60 a DVD essentially if you take out the price of the box. £29.95 is your price on this today. RMGC 52 for you. Do you know what, that box is very helpful as well. If you, like me, have a golden retriever who's really into eating JewelleryMaker DVDs, kid you not, you would not think that a dog could eat a DVD, and it doesn't shatter, you know, it just bends. It's so annoying. Get yourself a box. Save yourself the hassle. Right, price avalanche, what does that mean? It means we are going to start with our high-end, high-price products. We're still going to give you a cracking deal on them, but then what we're going to do is we're going to go down in price. So everything will either be a price match of the previous item, or it will be lower. I'm starting off with serious quality. Some beautiful pieces. It's a price avalanche. Where should we start? How's about we start with something I have been teasing you with all day? Oh my goodness. Have a look at what's going to come on screen now. Quantity 6. 10 carats of grey diamonds. Honestly, this is spectacular. Take a look at this beautiful strand. Isn't that a spectacular 20 centimetre strand of genuine diamond? Now, of course, we all know about diamond. It is one of the most luxurious gemstones. I still have 6 of these. Let me bring in your price. £44.95. I brought to you a round, was it Christmas, was it Boxing Day or was it New Year's Eve? I brought to you a strand of 10 carat diamonds and they were £95.95. Look at how beautiful these grey diamonds are, and do you know what? That name doesn't really do it justice. These are silver, aren't they? Especially with that metallic glow that you get as it catches the light. The grey itself is more silver than anything. It's so pretty. 4 of these in total. This is genuine diamond. Honestly, do I dare even attempt to count them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 12 diamonds in approximately 2 centimetres. This is a 20 centimetre strand. That's giving you an idea of how many we've got. I'm on to my last 3 of these now. Honestly, do get them home to really fall in love with them. And yeah, it might be a considered purchase at £44.95, but for the amount we get them on, it's going to be worth it, isn't it? And it is genuine diamond. It's something that everybody knows. It's serious. It's just shouts class, elegance, high price to you, but you're getting it at a low price today. £44.95 for these beautiful nuggets. They are exceptional. I've got 3 left. I have got people waiting for these on the phone. 2 left in stock right now. Genuinely do get these home, because I know it says grey and perhaps they even look a little bit grey to you, but to my eye they are so silver. I've got my last one. Who's going to get the last one? Are you going to get the last one? It's your last chance to get it. I've not just got one on the show now, this is in the building. Whoever gets that last one may well get the one that I'm holding in my hand right now. £44.95. Could you be the last person to get a real treat of diamonds? If you haven't worked with diamonds before, possibly because you're a little bit worried at the price point, you've got this for just £44.95 today. And genuinely, 3 of these on a pendant, you've got yourself a diamond necklace. How much would you be paying this for this? Oh, I've got people on the phone. I'm gonna have to move on. Someone's gonna get that last one. If you're on the phone now, you could be the last person to get your hands on it. Get in now. So, we now know £44.95. We're either gonna price match or drop lower. That's our hot price. Where are we going to? This is by far the most intricate and tricky cut to create. Have a look at these really sizable concave cut lemon quartz. Wow, aren't these exceptional? Now, the concave cut is so intricate and so difficult. To be a lapidrist, you have to train, of course, for years and years and years to be able to get your hands on genuine, beautiful, stunning gemstones such as this lemon quartz. It takes years and years longer. Once you have become a lapidrist, you have the opportunity to create this cut, which is the concave cut. Once you get taught how to do this cut, your job title is no longer lapidrist. You are referred to as a concave artist. And once you have learned to create a concave cut, you are not allowed to create any other cut in your lifetime as a gemstone cutter. Once you learn how to do a concave cut, literally that's all you are allowed to do, full stop. You won't come in one day and they'll say to you, oh, go and do us a nice princess cut, concave artist. That is what you do forever. It is such a highly skilled trade. It is such a highly skilled piece to be able to create, that once you have created it, people do not want to risk you perhaps dropping that skill or becoming slightly slack on that skill, which means only ever create that piece. Only ever create this cut. The reason the concave cut is so much loved with the clear gemstones, crystal eye clear like this lemon quartz, is because you'll be able to see the undulating facets around the sides of the concave almost act as a mirror. Now, if you think of any other faceting type, what we might think of the table, you might think of the light entering, hitting off one facet and coming out. You'll be able to say that this is undulating, which means that when the light enters, it doesn't actually come out instantly. It stays within the gemstone, which is why you get this fire internally in each of them. 100 carats worth on this, and I think you'll agree when you just see each one of them, it truly is a captivating gemstone. We started out at £44.95. How about we bring your price in? £39.95. Honestly, if you haven't worked with concave cut, I've only got 10 of these in stock now. If you haven't worked with concave cut before, can you see how the light enters and actually stays within the gemstone? Literally, the light enters and hits, as opposed to hitting off one of the facets and bouncing back out of the gemstone, it stays internally. Think of a pinball in a pinball machine. That's what the light does when it enters. It enters and ping, 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 ping off all of these individual facets before it actually exits the gemstone itself, which is why you have got this serious, beautiful internal glow almost. 8 of these left in stock. These are seriously statements, seductively sparkly, 100 carats worth. I've got 5 on mine, which is more than likely what you're going to get exactly on yours as well. Definitely at least 100 carats worth, of course. I've only got 6 of them left in stock now at £39.95. If you have never had concave cut before, I genuinely cannot say how much you are missing out, because genuinely it is the most exquisite cut, and the people who create this, I know they're called concave artists, and when you get this home you'll see why as well. 4 of these left in stock at £39.95. If you've got it in your basket, please do check out. There are people waiting, queuing on the phone line. Not a long queue. We will answer your call as soon as possible. The faster you get in, the more chance you've got. You could be the last 3 people to own this beautiful strand today. Trust me, this is spectacular. You're going to fall in love. If you think it looks good on screen, wait till you get it home. 2 of those left. I am going to have to move on. £39.95. Where are we headed to? Beautiful. Really pretty cut on this tanzanite. Take a look. 60 carats worth of this tanzanite. Now, I had a chat with Steve the other day via email. He is back from his travels. You all know Steve Bennett. Everyone knows Steve. Owner of the company, of course. We had a few emails the other day. Mainly he was laughing at me. However, past the laughing at, I was asking him about the situation of Tanzanite, because he has been to Tanzania for the last 3 weeks. He's been to other places as well, but mainly focused within that district to have a little look at these, obviously foothills of Kilimanjaro. And we've always said, haven't we, that Tanzanite is around 1,000 times rarer than diamond. Update for you straight off the press. We're now looking at around 2,000 times rarer than diamond. Now, we do still have it on this channel quite a lot, don't we? We do. But that's because we got, it's not even about our buying power, you know. It's the fact that we got loads and loads in stock last time we were out there. Loads of different types, loads of different cuts, and we've just kept it. We've stored it. We've brought little bits and bobs to you here and there. So the fact of the matter is that who knows, this time next year, we might not be able to bring you tanzanite anymore. 2 of the mines have now closed in that 16 kilometre square area that we mine these from. 2 of the mines are now completely closed. We're around 800 metres into the crust of the earth in both of these mines, and we literally have no more technology to be able to get into this area anymore. Now, you know it's going to be less than $39.95. Realistically, since we've heard the word on tanzanite, and you'll be hearing, I think Steve is going to do a VT about exactly what he heard about it, just to kind of get across to you the serious point of this is essentially is becoming extinct, and it truly is much quicker than we ever presumed. But at the moment, we're still going to give you our jewellery maker prices until he's come out and sort of explained the dire situation of the gemstone. So it's not £39.95. Who knows? A few months' time it might be. But today your price in our avalanche is just £29.95 for these beautiful checkerboard cut prisms. They are so stunning. They're just £29.95, and truly the situation in Tanzania will be completely explained in the next few probably coming weeks. And trust me, if you've managed to get your hands on this, you will definitely know. And honestly, it's one of those things that in future times, this will be your heirloom. At future times, this is the type of thing that actually you might not even be able to buy this first hand in a couple of years' time. So treat yourself to it whilst you can. Less than £30, £29.95 for you today. Oh my goodness! I completely forgot I had this in today. Now, what did I say to you before about that tourmaline and how stunning it was and what it reminded me of and how we don't have any of it in and I absolutely love it? Okay, you weren't listening. Yeah, you can remember. Do you remember I said the tourmaline looked like it? I'll give you a clue, it's on screen.
Yes.
Pink spinel. No way. Oh, I completely forgot I had this in stock. Have a look. You're going to get it in this beautiful display box. 20 carats worth of this beautiful pink faceted rondelle. Now, spinel. Now, again, we've just had really, really, really rare tanzanite. This gemstone, rarer than ruby by about 10-20 fold, is stunning, beautiful, special spinel. Have a real good look at this for me because it's captivating, it really is. Pink spinel is known as the master of disguise because for many, many years it was actually confused with ruby. And in fact, in the crown jewels, there is a centre spinel, which we thought for many, many years was ruby, but it is in fact a spinel. Red and pink spinel are by far the rarest in type, and it's again a gemstone that when we were mining it, you know, around 3 or 4 years ago, it actually thought to be extinct. We thought for a while because literally you couldn't get your hands on it for love nor money for months and months and months. And then we found a small plot of it, but even then we're running out of that too. It's crazy. I think we've just got to that point at the moment where, you know, on these most luxurious strands, it's so hard and Mother Nature's just not producing them for us right now. It is a gemstone that glows in natural daylight. That's one of the reasons that pink spinel in particular is so much loved, because it does have this glowing attribute to it in daylight. Get it home, get it outside, and you truly will fall in love. It is, of course, a gemstone that was said to save a king's life as well. Let's take a look at your price on this 18 centimetre strand, shall we? It is so rare, it is so stunning. £27 £20.95 for 20 carats of the Master of Disguise, one of the rarest gemstones in the world. Again, pink spinel for you here today. And they're gorgeous rondelles. And they're some cracking size in there, 7x1. A rondelle is not an easy shape to create, especially on beautiful gemstones like this, because of the small surface area, but it's been done masterfully. Honestly, get this home to add some true luxury for less. £27.95 is your price on this today. Oh, Ruby. If Ruby was here again now, she'd love this. Do you know what? This would be Ruby's favourite gemstone in my favourite cut. It is 55 carats of your rose quartz in the concave cut. Take a look. Now, the lovely thing with rose quartz is sometimes you get this silky internal effect, don't we? Which, you know, it's not necessarily a desired attribute. Personally, I quite like it, but it's not necessarily the desired when we're looking at quality rose quartz. You haven't got that at all in here, which is beautiful. The clarity is exceptional. And if this wasn't clearest of clear rose quartz, they simply would not bother in concave cutting it. Concave cut, waist-wise, we're looking at around 5 to 10% on these. And, you know, sometimes you get the gem art. You know, you get the gem art sometimes, you get those pots of powder. It's actually a lot of it due to creating this cut, 'cause around 5 to 10% is essentially waste, and it gets put into those so you can create beautiful gemstone pictures with it. Now, it's an 18 centimetre strand, it's 55 carats worth. Let's get your price in. It's a great price, £20.95 is all you're going to be paying on this strand. And there's loads on it, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I've got about 21 on these, about 21 pieces on my strand at £20.95. CHJK21 is the code on this beautiful piece today. If perhaps you loved the lemon quartz, but it was like £9 more, maybe it was a little bit out of your price range, but you still want to get your hands on the concave cut, then this truly is your chance to get it. Really is your chance to buy it, because trust me, when it comes to concave cut, you're not going much lower than £20 at all, no matter what the gemstone, you're really not. It's such a high grade cut, and this is a stunning gemstone. Now, £20.95. Now, I'm in the last chance saloon now, not only on numbers, but also I've got myself a bevy in. It is your beer quartz that I have in this stand for you. 7 pieces of it, to be specific. Now, beer quartz is really unusual to find, and it's beautiful that I've been able to bring it to you. Now, these ones are graduated large nuggets, but I would actually almost describe them as step cut in a sense. Can you see this one here? So you've got, if you follow sort of the axis of it, you've got, when the light captivates first off the rectangles, doesn't it? But as you look internally, you see how that turns to checkerboards, and then it turns to these diamond shaped facets as well. Really pretty. Now, these ones are quite large in size actually, all the way up to 15 by 12 mil on this. Now, it is beer quartz, it's from beautiful Brazil, and you've got 85 carats worth on this strand. Should I bring your price in? Today, it's just £17.95 for this. This is a stunning strand. I personally would use these on a rosary link chain, just an asymmetric design, one piece. However, you have got plenty in here that are similar each side to create a beautiful pair of earrings also. What about a headpiece with these? What do you think you'd do with these, Teresa?
Oh, I feel like I'm kind of replaying myself all the time. But I think I'd like to wire wrap them, but I think you'd have to be very careful because you don't want to kind of overdo it.
Anything, do you?
So it might well be a sort of wire wrapped kind of piece with one of those sort of sitting in the centre of it. So actually it kind of frames it. And I'd be very tempted to put antique bronze wire with it as well.
I can agree with that actually, definitely. I think it'll just compromise it quite nicely, add warmth to it as well. £17.95 is your price on this beautiful gemstone. 85 carats, £17.95 for you. Did you get before the bundle I brought to you initially? Because this will go so pretty with that. It's a strand of kyanite, and these are faceted rondelles. Take a look. 60 carats worth of this beautiful pleochrismic gemstone. Now, because it is pleochrismic and because it's perfect cleavage, tell you this is such a tricky gemstone to cut. Lapidarists who get this have to have been training for many, many years to even be able to work with kyanite. Because you've got the pleochrism, it has to be cut in a certain way just to show that colour change. And also, because of the perfect cleavage, it can split so quickly. So for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and literally really only in living memory properly, have these been created into anything more than a cab. But you've got them here in the faceted rondelles, which is beautiful and takes a lot of work to create, trust me. Let's get your price in on this straight away, shall we? We know that we mentioned to you before the marquee shaped ones that we had, the kyanite we had on before, £24.95 on the website. Let's see what your price on these is today. 10 or less, £14.95 for 60 carats worth on these of your beautiful kyanite. Now, we're getting the price in so that you've got your chance to own these really quickly, because you know what price point-ish we're going to go to, and it's best to bring you, I would see a few of you with this in your baskets. I would definitely check these out as soon as you can, because I've not got as many as I want of these. £14.95 for genuine kyanite is really special. Now, pleochrismic gemstones themselves are of course something that are just renowned, that are something that are so wanted for. But I would say that kyanite really is one of the most sort of loved of the pleochrismics, purely because of the tone blue. It's apparently one of the colours that's said to make you happy, it's said to calm you. I used to work at a gym actually, and we had a room that was specifically for people who were doing marathons and triathlons and that sort of thing. They had to pay extra to be in there, and it was painted completely in blue. Floor, ceiling, everything was blue, because it said that blue is so calming, even on the body, that you can actually work out for much longer in a blue room. So put these on, get calm, get creating. They're yours today, 60 carats of kyanite, £14.95 for you today. Do you like my ring? Do you like my ring? What do you think of this? Can you tell what it is? Yes, you can. It is ametrine! No, I'm not selling my ring. It's beautiful though, isn't it? Got it in the shop the other day as a little treat. But I just wanted to show you so that you can take a look at how similar these are in their shade amount. 460 carats worth you've got of this beautiful ametrine irregular slabs. Now, this is classed as ametrine. And I'm just double checking for safety reasons. I would definitely describe it all as ametrine. Maybe one or two pure amethyst, maybe, but it's definitely on the bridge. Now, ametrine itself is so rare. The reason being, it's literally just a few of degrees initially that creates this different effect, this different look. Now, the gemstone itself, literally within the crust of the earth, imagine there's a heat line. So of course, in the center of the earth, it's very, very warm, very lava, isn't it? And then of course the outside much cooler. Now, in the crust of the earth, the way it works is there's a baseline, of course, with altering temperatures. So you'll base, near to the center of the core, is where you're going to get your citrine. Because of the heat, it turns the amethyst to citrine, this beautiful yellow. You've then got literally around 3 inches above there where you get your ametrine, and that is the mixture between the two. And 3 inches around above that is where you get your amethyst. Now, can I just check where this is from? It's from Africa. Is there any treatments done on this? None whatsoever. Isn't that special? Genuine, completely natural ametrine. Now, you can do treatments on ametrine to create this look, and we have it on here sometimes, and I always say to you, this is heat treated. You can create it. It's very hard to, but you can. Very simply, the reason it's so tricky is because of the structure of the gemstone. The heat travels through it so fast because of the way it's lined in parallel lines. If I heat this side, it travels through so quickly that it can just turn into citrine. However, if you get it just the right temperature and stop at the right point, you can recreate ametrine. But this hasn't had that at all. This complete fluke of nature, it's an absolute phenomenon. It's completely created only by Mother Nature. 460 carats worth you have here. We do bring you heat treated ametrine. I always tell you when it is. This is not. This is completely natural. Basically, we've got this from the earth. Mother Nature brought it to us. We've cut it into a nice shape, give it a high polish, and we've brought it to you today. Lengthy strand of such a rare, phenomenal gemstone. Let's take a look at your price, shall we? Can you believe it's £12.95? Honestly, I'll tell you the truth, my ametrine in my ring, and if you look, actually, it's got a similar mix in tone to some of the ametrine that I've got on this strand, doesn't it? It's kind of a middle mix, isn't it? It's got the same amount. This is a 3 carat ametrine. It's got 1 carat zircon around the outside, and it was originally on Gems, I bought it from our sister channel, £196.95, and that's a cracking price for ametrine. But essentially it's only a 3 carat ametrine that I've got in here. You're getting 460 carats worth on this strand. It's exceptional. It's yours today for £12.95. I adore this gemstone. The thing I love actually about ametrine as well is it's sort of part my birthstone, because I'm Pisces, so it's February, but it's also Pisces birthstone, which is known as the creative sort of gemstone, isn't it, amethyst? But also it's got citrine, which is known as the happy. So I love the idea that you can wear a gemstone that's going to make you happy and creative. I think it's really beautiful. I've got something that makes me feel really creative because the shape on these is so special. 45 carats worth of your peridot in these faceted tubes. Aren't they wonderful? Can you see how the faceting works on these tubes? It's sort of the rectangular shape faceting, isn't it? These are 3x2 all the way to 6x3mm. It is a 30cm strand. It's really poppy green tones in here, isn't it? Imagine this with that pink spinel. Wouldn't it be like little buds? And in fact, because these are tubes, they've got that stem-like effect to them, haven't they? Couldn't you pop maybe a faceted round or even a bicone on top of these, and it's almost recreating a little bloom, isn't it? A little blossom with a green stem and a beautiful little gemstone flower about to burst into life. 45 carats of this 30cm strand. Add a spring in your step. We know it's going to be less than 40, well, we know it's going to be less than £12.95. Shall I bring your price in? £9.95 for CYNV 54 today. It's really beautiful sparkle. We're going low, aren't we? Started off, what, 40? £44.95. Have we run out of those diamonds? Oh man, we have. Sorry, the diamonds have gone. But we started off there, it's £9.95. We're still going. £9.95 your price on that today. No. This size, genuine pearls, less than £9.95 or a price match. These are classed as pale green pearls, and these are in your Baroque shape. Now, the Baroque shape, I think, is one of the most sought after in a sense, because, of course, you know that these aren't fake, don't you? You know these are genuine, you know these are completely real. You know they're not even for a second plastic or fake, are they? They just yell Mother Nature to you. And that's why it's so exceptional to have these on your stand, because people aren't for a second going to doubt that these are genuine pearls. Now, it could be a price match of £9.95, which is probably what we're all guessing, isn't it? Because they are 12 by 10 mil on some of these. So large. Don't forget, taking around 12 years for each of one of these to be created. That's an exceptional amount of time. If you haven't got your hands on the pale green yet, now is your chance. £9.95 or less. Surely not less. It is less. £7.95 is the price on this. Genuine pearls, completely natural, and do have a little look as well. Remind yourself of the price of these anywhere else. I've got plenty of you with this in your basket. You really do need to be checking out. £7.95 is the only strand of pearls I'm going to be bringing you today, and it's a cracking deal on these really sizable pieces. I know it says pale green. If that's worrying you or putting you off in any way, don't be, because if you put these next to white, you might not even be able to tell that much. Think sort of apple blossom tone, really delicate hint of green, definitely. But of course, if you did want to make the green pop, why not pop it with the peridot that we've just had on, just to give it a bit of an extra kick, just to add a little bit of an extra green hint to it. £7.95 for completely massive, genuine pearls today. Beautiful, 12 by 10, £7.95. How about getting your hand on one of the most sought after garnets that you want? Hessonite. Burnt umbers running through this like a treat. 95 carats you have of this hessonite garnet in these faceted medium nuggets. They're 10 by 7 all the way to 15 by 8 mil. Your eye is sort of initially drawn to the facets, isn't it? Because the light is literally just bouncing off them, cascading, almost hitting back into the eye, aren't they? But then, once your eye is sort of drawn to the gemstone itself, you're actually looking through, and there's a lot of amber-like colours through here. And clarity, too, which is beautiful to find in hessonite garnet. You've got whiskey, you've got real ale, you've got a bit of bourbon running through here in the tones as well. It's 95 carats worth. I'm just going to keep spinning. Enjoy the sparkle. Oh, can you see? Look at the cascade. XS RU 69. Genuine hessonite garnet for this price. £6.95, and genuinely, some of these are so sizable. Imagine as a ring. You only need one of those as a ring. Genuine garnet for £6.95. Some of these are pretty large as well, aren't they? 15 by 8 mil. Beautiful, sizable strand. And it's £6.95 on this for you today. Seriously sparkly. Check it out if you are online. I can see there's 2 new people online right now. If you've got it in your baskets, you can check this out whenever you want, because it's only £2.95 for the whole day today until midnight. You only pay £1 postage packaging no matter how much you check out. So check out. It's the only way that you can secure it's definitely yours. Do you fancy heading outside into the sun? Apparently the sun's coming this weekend. How about getting it in a strand? You have with this one, haven't you? Ooh, sky blue apatite. Irregular plain coins. And these are 3 to 4 mil on a 30 centimetre strand. 30 carats worth of this beautiful blue apatite. And it really is sky blue too, isn't it? It really has got those beautiful summer sky effects. Apparently getting to 17 and 18 degrees this weekend in the Midlands and London. Up north, sorry, it's not that bad. It's not that good. It's not as good. I think we're still hitting, up northerners, I think we're still hitting around 12, which is pretty much spring, summer, isn't it? Can't ask for much more in March, can we? 30 carats worth. Add a little bit of sky blueness to your collection for this price today. Can you believe it's £4.95? I know, completely genuine gemstone for you. TLVX 29. It's so pretty, it's gorgeous clarity. Lovely plain coins, £4.95. And yes, I've still got one left. I've still got one left. There's a few of you, there's 5 of you on the web who haven't checked it out just yet. I've got one more left, I know. And in fact, it'll go perfectly with this. I'm going to show you it next to it, because it goes gorgeously. Oh my goodness, I'm on a beach. Have a look at how beautiful these go together. Yes, this one is going below £4.95. Oh, don't they work stunning together? Can you imagine those little spaces in between? Oh my days. You've got 150 carats worth on here of the small nuggets. These are around 8 by 5 to 11 by 8 mil. Now, it is your Amazonite that we have here, and you can see these beautiful blue tones. Now, it's funny actually, we don't know totally where the name of Amazonite comes from, you know. There's 2 stories of where the name comes from. One, it's named after the river, and 2, it's named after the Amazonian warrior women, because it was found a lot in their battle armory. It was said actually in those days to exclusively and only give strength to your to women only. 150 carats worth. In fact, it is, isn't it? It's tomorrow, isn't it? International Women's Day tomorrow. Girl power tomorrow, ladies, all the way. 150 carats worth. It's going to be less than £4.95, and it's just today. Yep. £2.95. It's a lengthy strand. This isn't measly. It's only £2.95 for you. AB, GP, 72 on this. Sharon's got herself a lovely Catherine. We've got someone from Northumberland as well. It's got his some. Is that Menorca? Oh, lovely. Hey, I bet this reminds you of the sea in Menorca, doesn't it? There's about 6 of you online who haven't got it. There is a queue on the phone lines. What I will say is stay where you are. Stay where you are, because there is a small queue on the phone, but it's definitely worth it for this price, isn't it? Genuine gemstone, £2.95. 150 carats. Now, I started off with way over 100 of these because we knew they'd fly out at this price. We knew. 72 I'm down to now. There is a slight queue on the phone, but you're looking at a matter of moments. You are answered in order. We will get to you as quickly as we possibly can. It is a free phone number from a landline. Possibly not if you're in Menorca, but if you are, go wild anyway. Why not? 51 I've got left of these. Started off with way over 100. £2.95. It's definitely going to be your last chance to own yourself this beautiful strand today. 50 carats, 150 carats even of this beautiful Amazonite. It's a hefty carat weight, isn't it? And it's so bright, it's so beautiful, it's seriously bold that you're working with here. And do you know what? In fact, peridot and your sky blue apatite. The sky blue apatite is the one that's at the bottom, £4.95. Don't they just work beautifully? I could see this at a festival actually, couldn't you? These beautiful, bright, fun, summery tones. Do you know what else is quite interesting about this mixture? Unisex. They're unisex strands, aren't they? Definitely. Because none of them are, say, your faceted bicones or rounds. They're unisex. They've got a lovely colour group to them. So pretty. £2.95 is your price, but get it whilst you can. 43 of these left in stock. Now do stay where you are for this beautiful strand. Oh my goodness, just thinking as well, imagine on a stretchy, just doubled up. I can see myself now maybe walking down a street in where would I be walking with this on, do you think? Greece? Director Ben says Wigan. I can see that. I'd rock it in Wigan with this on, definitely. Where else? Where do you think? Italy. So it's Italiano. I was going to say we then, but that's French. What do you think, Teresa? Where could you see us wearing these?
Malta.
Malta, yeah. The Caribbean. Maldives blue on this. Morocco we've had out there. Isn't it funny that a certain type of colour and a certain shape of gemstone just makes you think of these high-end places? But it's not a high-end price, is it? Say we did go by the law of cameraman Ryan and we were to wear these in Italy, for £2.95, you probably couldn't even buy a cappuccino, could you, really? You've got these genuine gemstones that are gonna last you a lifetime. I've only got 30 left now, and bearing in mind, I started off with way over 100. £2.95, I've got 29 of these left. You've all been getting your hands on them. Now what I will say is there's 29 left, but I can see about 10 people with it online in their baskets at the moment. So if you're all checking out now, I'll probably end up with about 10 left. So there is a slight queue on the phone. Am I safe in saying that? Yeah, there is a slight queue on the phone. We will be with you answered in order. It's a genuine gemstone for £2.95. That has been a cracking price avalanche, hasn't it? Hasn't that been great? Price avalanche. Ow, I gave you a sneaky peek of this earlier on, didn't I? And I'm gonna bring it to you now. Now, take a look at this bundle for me. This is the one I gave you that little sneaky peeky of earlier on. Take a look. All brand new strands. How perfectly do these go with the strands I've just been showing you? Oh my goodness, they go so well. You've got in here 30 carats of your sky blue aquatite, and these are your plain coins. These are your irregular coins. 3x4 mil, and it's a 30 centimetre strand. You've also got 35 carats of your peridot. These are the 3 mil round. It's a new strand on this for you, and brand spanking new strand. I've got to show you all of this. Sorry, I just whipped it out of shot then. Sorry, Ryan. I've got to show you all of this. It's so stunning. Look at the mixture of tones. 80 carats worth of this smoky quartz in the graduated plain wheels. You've got serious depth of smokiness in some, and some are almost cloudy quartz as opposed to usual smoky. Graduation in that strand's exceptional as well. 3x2, 6x3. Let's get your price in, shall we? 3 strands, just £11.95. And not only are you getting these 3 stunning strands, but we're also going to have a little nosy at a really stand-out piece that the wonderful Teresa has created for us as well. My belt's falling off, I'm not getting undressed. Hello!
Hello.
So what did you think of these when you were given them?
I think they're lovely. Well, yeah, the apatite and the peridot are just absolutely gorgeous. And it's really actually quite unusual, the smoky quartz having such a large amount of grading in it, from
it really
pretty much clear to really, really dark.
Really dark.
Yeah. Yeah, so they are
and look
lovely.
at the stunning pieces you have created. I'm not surprised this took you so much time, but I'm surprised you managed to whip up a ring with it as well in the short time we gave you.
Yes, sort of feel like I kind of failed on quantity today.
No, but succeeded on quality, which is the most important thing, isn't it? So, tell us briefly how you managed to create this lovely effect. It looks sort of similar to the technique you showed us earlier on. Am I right in thinking that?
It is, in a way, yeah. The frames were made first, the little kind of swirly sort of bits. And then instead of kind of wrapping the gemstones individually, they are all on one piece, so it's just wrapped at the ends to go across the kind of the S shape. Yeah, I just wanted a piece that was looking fairly modern, I suppose. And I think it was kind of that green and turquoise together just made me feel a bit kind of modern, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah, the silver just seemed to work with it really nicely. But it felt like that it needed that kind of smoky quartz in there just to kind of break it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just so you've got a bit of depth to the colours, I suppose. And then I was just kind of thinking, well, you know, it shouldn't be the case that it's just possible to use silver with it. So that's when I got the gold wire out and just started playing with the ring.
And you have got so much left over. Have you seen all of this? We've hardly touched all of these. Pretty much a whole strand of everything left over. That is so wonderful. And you've managed to create such a gorgeous piece. Thank you so much for today. It's been fab. We've had lovely comments for you all afternoon.
Oh, thank you.
Now, Teresa, tell us when you're back on with us next.
I believe it's 29th of March.
Fab. Have you been given a kit yet?
I haven't.
So you're waiting.
I've been looking at what I might be using, but I haven't actually got it
Set
yet.
it out
so,
yet.
Yeah, it's a few possibilities. So
fab. Well, we will see you on the 29th. Now, tomorrow, I'm not on Designer Inspirations. I will be on the Late Show. It's no longer Miss It, Miss Out, remember? It's the Late Show. That is the first day of the Late Show today. I will be joining you tomorrow, 5 o'clock until 9 p.m. on the Late Show. And guess what? I do designer inspiration, so of course I'm going to bring a designer with me. On the Late Show tomorrow, I will be joined by the wonderful Sarah Alvin. So until then, thank you so much again. You're amazing. We will see you both very soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening. See ya.